Chapter 2661. The top of the 10,000 demons' ancient tree was like a chaotic void. Endless chaotic mist filled the air and divine light filled the area. The void was distorted and various mysterious phenomena appeared. The 10,000 demons' ancient tree was like a world tree that connected the heavens and the earth. It exuded a majestic and terrifying aura, and its life force was extremely vigorous. On the crown of the 10,000 demons' ancient tree, a huge palace emitted 9-colored divine light. It was like the palace of the celestial emperor. It floated in the chaotic void, suppressing and eternal. The 10,000 demons' secret treasure. The 4 words seemed to contain the fluctuations of the great Tao law. It was like the might of the heavens, and it made people feel reverent. Is this the 10,000 demons' secret treasure? It is indeed protected by a powerful emperor array. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he thought to himself. Standing in front of the huge palace, Ling Zhao could sense that the seemingly ethereal and mysterious primal chaos mist before him contained an extremely terrifying emperor's might. The emperor's might intertwined with each other to form a powerful killing intent that seemed capable of destroying everything. This was the power of the Supreme Emperor array. Ling Zhao had the inheritance of a great emperor and wielded an extreme emperor weapon. Although he was still far from the Supreme Emperor realm, he was very familiar with the extreme emperor aura. Ling Zhao could feel that the emperor array before him was extremely powerful and complete. It was not comparable to the incomplete emperor arrays that he had encountered before. Even an emperor could die if he was not careful, let alone a few demon kings. Everyone, I don't care what grudges you have, but before we enter the 10,000 demons' secret treasure, we must work together. Otherwise, we will all die in this emperor array if we have any ill intentions. When we enter the emperor array, there will be 5 areas that represent the power of the 5 elements' great Tao law. Each of us will enter one area and find the array I. Then, we will be able to enter the 10,000 demons' secret treasure through the array I. However, before we find the array I, we must withstand the eruption of the extreme emperor aura. Therefore, do not hold back. Only by finding the array I and entering the 10,000 demons' secret treasure can we be truly safe. Do you understand? King Pine Cypress said solemnly, especially when he looked at Ling Zhao and White Dragon King. King Pine Cypress, don't worry. I will not do anything stupid before we enter the 10,000 demons' secret treasure. I'm afraid that someone cannot withstand the extreme emperor aura and will implicate us. The White Dragon King snorted coldly. It's just an extreme emperor's aura. White Dragon King, don't think that I'm trash like you. When we enter the fiend treasure trove, I will definitely kill you. Ling Zhao smiled faintly. I should be the one saying that, right? White Dragon King said murderously. All right, stop quarreling. Since you all know, then follow the direction we discussed just now. We must find the array core as soon as possible. Otherwise, if we delay for too long, it will cause the monarch array to fully awaken and we will all die in there. King Pine and Cypress said with a headache. Ling Zhao and the White Dragon King looked at each other. The murderous intent in their eyes seemed to have materialized. Sparks flew in the air. Then, both of them retracted their gazes and temporarily put aside their grudges. Their gazes fell on the palace in front of them. Rumble! A blazing divine light emerged around King Pine Cypress, and in an instant, divine chains of order rushed out of his body, erupting with terrifying fluctuations of power, shooting toward the palace in front of him. As if it had sensed King Pine and Cypress's aura, the chaotic mist in front of them suddenly became extremely violent. Bolts of lightning intertwined, and the runes of the law rose. A destructive aura spread out, causing the 4 great monster kings and Ling Zhao to reveal a dignified expression. Open! King Pine and Cypress suddenly roared. The divine chains of order exploded in the void at the same time, turning into a storm that swept out in all directions. The chaotic mist that originally shrouded the palace was instantly dispersed. Vaguely, everyone could see that there seemed to be 5 dazzling rays of light shooting up into the sky from the chaotic mist. They mutually reinforced and restrained each other, turning into 5 mysterious 5 elemental regions. Let's go! King Pine and Cypress roared. Then, in an instant, heaven and earth chi surged around his body. He shot out like a bolt of lightning, heading directly toward the earth elemental Great Tao Law region. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Peony King, Willow King, and White Dragon King also leaped up at the same time. Peony King headed toward the Water Elemental Great Tao Law region, Willow King headed toward the Wood Elemental Great Tao Law region, and White Dragon King headed toward the Metal Elemental Great Tao Law region. Ling Xiao was slightly behind, but his speed was not slow at all. He headed toward the region that seemed to be burning with raging flames. The Fire Elemental Great Tao Law. This was what the five of them had discussed in advance. For Ling Xiao, going to that region made no difference, so he agreed readily. Ling Xiao was like a bolt of lightning, his speed extremely fast. He instantly landed in the Fire Elemental Great Tao Law region. Rumble. Blazing flames rose around Ling Xiao's body in an instant. The flames looked colorful. There were black, blue, purple, and golden flames that seemed to be able to burn everything. They contained the power of the law of fire. After sensing Ling Xiao's appearance, they rushed towards him in an instant. Get lost! Ling Xiao's eyes flickered as he roared. Rumble! There seemed to be a wave of air around him, and a terrifying aura surged up. In an instant, the flames around him were forced back 100 feet, and a vacuum appeared. Ling Xiao's eyes were like lightning. He instantly scanned the surroundings, trying to find the location of the formation eye. However, the flames were formed by the Fire Elemental Great Tao Law. They were endless and terrifying. Almost instantly, they rushed toward Ling Xiao again. In that instant, a terrifying wave of energy erupted from Ling Xiao's body. Purple gold flames spewed out from the pores of his body, containing the power to devour everything. Sky-devouring fire. As Ling Xiao cultivated the sky-devouring secret skill to perfection, his sky-devouring fire became more powerful. Not only could it refine everything, but it could also devour billions of flames to strengthen itself. At this moment, the flames formed by the Fire Elemental Great Tao Law around Ling Xiao were the best nourishment for the sky-devouring fire. They were instantly devoured by the sky-devouring fire. Ling Xiao traveled through the sea of flames like a bolt of lightning, looking for the location of the formation eye. Rumble. At the same time, the entire Emperor formation seemed to have completely awakened. Bolts of lightning flashed across the sky. The black thunderbolts contained the power of destruction. The terrifying Emperor's aura swept over, as if it could tear the void apart and turn time and space into nothingness. Chapter 2662. This was the power of the Emperor Ray that naturally erupted when it sensed an intruder. This kind of power made Ling Xiao feel a chill all over his body, and his primordial spirit unconsciously surged with fear. This was the Extreme Emperor Aura, a power that only a Supreme Emperor could control. I'd like to see how strong this so-called Extreme Emperor Aura is. Ling Xiao's eyes instantly became sharp and dazzling. Purple gold light surged around his body, and there seemed to be a bright sun burning in his heart. His head also spewed out dazzling divine light, like the indestructible bone, exuding eternal and immortal fluctuations. Although Ling Xiao could block the Extreme Emperor Aura with the prison steel, he didn't want to expose the prison steel so soon. Moreover, he wanted to experience the power of this Supreme Emperor Ray. Boom! Ling Xiao punched out, and the fist print seemed to be able to penetrate everything. It was incomparably ferocious, and in an instant, it expanded like a purple-gold divine mountain towards the Extreme Emperor Aura that filled the sky. An indescribable majesty and domineering aura emerged from Ling Xiao's body, as if a supreme emperor had emerged, suppressing the heavens and myriad worlds. Heavenly Emperor Prison Suppression Art. Ling Xiao used the Heavenly Prison Scripture to activate the Heavenly Emperor Prison Suppression Art. At the same time, the primordial immortal body also erupted to the extreme, colliding with the Extreme Emperor Aura that filled the sky. Gotcha! It was as if hundreds of millions of thunderbolts had exploded. Blazing divine light surged, and the Great Tao Law surged like an ocean, tearing the surrounding flames apart and turning them into nothingness. Ling Zhao's heavenly emperor prison suppression art was instantly submerged, and so was his body. The surging extreme emperor's aura was like a living supreme emperor, containing a terrifying power that could annihilate everything. Ling Zhao's flesh and blood were instantly torn apart, turning into nothingness under the extreme emperor aura. However, his bones exuded purple gold light, like crystals. They were his indestructible bones, and at this moment, they were humming. Under the crushing pressure of the extreme emperor aura, not only did they not shatter, but they were covered with a layer of mysterious light. At the same time, where Ling Zhao's heart was, there was a heart that was beating like the sun. In an instant, it gushed out a vast life source, and Ling Zhao's shattered flesh and blood instantly reformed. However, the surrounding extreme emperor aura was too terrifying. The flesh that had just formed was torn apart, leaving behind only a purple gold skeleton. Ling Zhao's head and heart were both glowing, because that was where the wordless heavenly book and the fortune jade disc had merged. It had an indestructible characteristic, and even the extreme emperor's might couldn't destroy it. Just like that, Ling Zhao's flesh and blood were constantly destroyed and reborn. An indescribable pain surged through him like a tidal wave, as if he had been dismembered countless times. However, Ling Zhao's heart was as firm as steel. Although his face was incomparably pale, his eyes became increasingly brighter. Although it had only been a short while, the life origin gushing out of his heart had consumed the energy of billions of origin pills to continuously condense his flesh and blood. Ling Zhao didn't have time to feel sorry for the loss of the origin pill. He immediately discovered that after the fire-attributed area was covered by the endless extreme emperor's pressure, a mysterious vortex had appeared. There seemed to be a strange flame dancing there, causing the surrounding extreme emperor's aura to disperse automatically. This is the eye of the array? Ling Zhao's eyes lit up. In an instant, he shot out like a bolt of lightning, flying towards the strange flame. Ling Zhao didn't expect that resisting the extreme emperor's pressure would have such a benefit, allowing him to directly discover the eye of the array in the fire-attributed Great Tao nomological domain. Swoosh! Ling Zhao instantly arrived in front of the flame. It was a very ordinary red flame that was easy to overlook, but it had a strange power. Light and shadow flickered within it, as if it contained a mysterious small tree. Ling Zhao stretched out his hand and grabbed at the flame. The moment the red flame came into contact with Ling Zhao's palm, it instantly burrowed into Ling Zhao's body through his palm. Rumble! Ling Zhao instantly felt a monstrous flame surging up, making him vaguely feel as if he had arrived in the ancient mythological era. The surrounding flames were all formed by the flame origin, and they wanted to burn him completely and become a part of the flame origin. Ling Zhao's meridians were in intense pain, and his entire body suddenly burst into flames, as if he had turned into a man of fire. Moreover, the burning speed was getting faster and faster. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed, and he instantly activated the Sky-Devouring secret skill and the 5 Elements secret skill. The power of the 5 elements flowed around him endlessly, and the power of the flame in his body suddenly transformed into the 5 elements Dharma and began to be devoured by Ling Zhao's Sky-Devouring secret skill. Ling Zhao's physical body seemed to have taken a tonic, and his aura began to soar instantly. Ling Zhao could feel that the holy path source root in his body represented the fire-attributed Great Tao nomological domain, and it instantly grew at a speed visible to the naked eye. It turned into a leaf, and flame patterns appeared on it. This also meant that his comprehension of the fire Dharma had reached the profound realm. This is the origin of the flame? Ling Zhao's heart trembled, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. The origin of the flame was the origin divine item of the fire attribute. Only by cultivating the Great Tao nomological domain to perfection and comprehending the power of the flame origin could one condense the origin of the flame. In other words, only by breaking through to the Supreme Emperor realm could one condense a divine item like the origin of the flame from the endless Great Tao Sea. The origin of the flame could allow one to quickly comprehend the Great Tao nomological domain of the fire attribute. Ling Zhao did not expect the formation eye to be the origin of the flame. If I'm not wrong, The other 4 formation eyes should be the metal origin, wood origin, water origin, and earth origin. Only by refining the 5 elemental origins in the formation eye can one enter the monster's secret treasure. Ling Zhao's eyes revealed a look of understanding. This was because when he refined the origin of the flame, the chaos in front of him surged, and the extreme emperor aura slowly disappeared. A mysterious passage appeared, and it was the passage to the monster's secret treasure. This might be the first test of the monster's secret treasure, Ling Zhao thought to himself. He then took a step forward and walked into the chaos vortex. Boom! In the next moment, Ling Zhao's eyes were filled with dazzling light, and an ancient and heavy aura surged toward him. He was already standing in front of the huge palace. Looks like it's just as I expected. Since the monster's secret treasure contains some kind of inheritance, this Supreme Emperor array is not purely a killing array. It must contain some kind of test. Ling Zhao looked at the huge palace in front of him, and there was a look of wisdom in his eyes. He should be the first person to enter the monster's secret treasure, right? Please remember the domain name of this book, mobile version of reading website. Chapter 2663. The huge palace was ancient and mysterious. The words Demon's Secret Trove hung above the palace, emitting a bright light and flowing with 9 different colors. Ling Zhao stood in front of the palace and slowly pushed the door open. Buzz. The door of the palace was easily pushed open by Ling Zhao. An ancient and desolate aura gushed out as Ling Zhao walked in. The door closed once again as if it had never been opened. The interior of the palace was like another world. Boom! Ling Zhao felt a vast emperor's aura descend, containing boundless great path nomological laws. It was like a mountain pressing down on him. Ling Zhao felt as if he was carrying an ancient sacred mountain on his back. His footsteps became extremely heavy. Most importantly, he felt that the saint energy and great path nomological laws in his body were suppressed by the emperor's aura and could not break out. This is an exclusion zone? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed and became serious. He realized that in the palace, other than his physical body which was not affected, he could not use the great path nomological laws. He could only use the power of his physical body. In front of Ling Zhao was a huge space. Huge banners that were a few feet tall were inserted into the ground, flapping in the wind. Upon closer inspection, there were tens of thousands of huge banners. Moreover, each of the huge banners contained an extremely powerful fluctuation. They were ancient and mysterious, like some kind of supreme treasure that could suppress everything. Each of the huge banners had a different color. The black ones were like the sky with a murderous aura, the gold ones were as dazzling as the sun, the purple ones were majestic and noble, and the red ones were as hot as flames. The huge banners were branded with powerful divine beasts. They looked lifelike and exuded a ferocious aura as if they were about to come alive. Tens of thousands of huge banners danced in the palace. The powerful divine beasts' eyes were as sharp as lightning, as if they were about to come alive at any time. They exuded a soul-stirring aura that sent chills down one's spine. Most importantly, these huge banners looked the same. Other than the color and the design, there was no other difference. Why are there so many huge banners in the Demon's Secret Trove? Ling Zhao's eyes revealed a strange look. Naturally, he could clearly sense the situation of the entire palace. Other than the tens of thousands of huge banners, there was nothing else. Could it be that these huge banners have some kind of secret? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. He reached out and grabbed a huge black banner beside him, wanting to pull it out. Rumble! Divine power erupted from Ling Zhao's body, and he could even pull out a mountain. However, to his disbelief, the giant black banner didn't budge at all. It was as if it contained millions of tons of divine power, and he couldn't pull it out at all. A huge white tiger was carved on the black banner. Its eyes were blood red, and its killing intent was overwhelming. At this moment, it seemed to be glaring at Ling Zhao. The Ling Zhao altar sent out a strand of divine thought to sense the white tiger on the banner. An earth-shattering roar of a tiger exploded in Ling Zhao's sea of consciousness, destroying his strand of consciousness in an instant. Vaguely, Ling Xiao seemed to see a white tiger that was billions of miles tall, roaring at the heavens and the earth, roaring at the chaos, wanting to rush into Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness. Ling Xiao hurriedly cut off the connection between him and the banner. Something strange. It seems that if I suppress the white tiger, I can control the black banner. Could it be that the white tiger is an artifact spirit? Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of doubt. The white tiger was extremely ferocious and exuded an overwhelming aura, as if it was the ancestor of the white tiger clan. Its aura was extremely pure. However, Ling Xiao felt that he could suppress the white tiger at any time, then refine the black banner and pull it out. At the same time, Ling Xiao felt that he couldn't refine the black banner. It was as if he would miss out on an unimaginable opportunity if he refined the black banner. There was no basis for this feeling. It was just an intuition. I still don't know enough about the demon treasure. However, that old man, King Pine Cypress, must be very familiar with the demon treasure. He definitely doesn't know that I'm the first to enter the demon treasure. Why don't I hide first and wait for him to come in? Ling Xiao muttered to himself. He scanned the entire palace with his divine thought. Other than the tens of thousands of banners, he didn't find anything out of the ordinary. Perhaps a special method was needed to open this place. Ling Xiao's eyes turned, and the space between his eyebrows lit up. The heavens might prison steel turned into a speck of dust and gently landed in a corner of the palace. Ling Xiao then directly entered the heavens might prison steel. Although there was a forbidden law domain here, the mighty prison steel was an apex emperor weapon and wasn't restricted. Ling Xiao could still barely use the mighty prison steel's transformation technique, but it didn't last long. The palace became quiet and empty. It was as if no one had ever been here. Not long after, a stream of light flashed outside the palace. King Pine Cypress, who had white hair and a sage-like demeanor, rushed out of the emperor formation. After refining the origin of Earth, my cultivation is one step closer to the supreme emperor realm. It seems that I'm the first to enter the demon treasure. The demon banner must fall into my hands. King Pine Cypress took a deep breath and a trace of excitement flashed across his eyes. He carefully examined the surroundings and didn't find any aura fluctuations. He immediately relaxed and slowly walked to the palace door, pushed it open, and entered. King Pine Cypress also felt the suppression of an apex emperor aura. Apart from his physical strength and a part of his divine thought, he also couldn't use any great Tao principles. A forbidden law domain? King Pine Cypress frowned. Clearly, he didn't expect there to be a forbidden law domain here. There's really something wrong with this old guy. In a speck of dust in the corner, Ling Xiao stared at King Pine Cypress's figure with a glimmer of light in his eyes. He was extremely cautious. Since entering the demon treasure, he didn't reveal any aura fluctuations, so King Pine Cypress didn't notice that someone had beaten him to it. With the forbidden law domain in the palace, King Pine Cypress couldn't use the great Tao principles. Therefore, King Pine Cypress couldn't sense the speck of dust formed by the mighty prison steel. Otherwise, even if Ling Xiao had the mighty prison steel, an apex emperor weapon, he couldn't guarantee that he could hide it from an unfathomable heavenly venerable expert like King Pine Cypress. Ling Xiao stared at King Pine Cypress's figure and watched him slowly walk toward the banners. Chapter 2664. The 10,000 Demons banner is indeed the legendary supreme treasure of the demon world, the apex emperor weapon, the 10,000 Demons banner. My thousands of years of waiting were not in vain. As long as I refine the 10,000 Demons banner, I will be the Lord of Demons, the ruler of the demon world. King Pine Cypress looked at the banners in front of him. His eyes were filled with excitement as he muttered to himself. Apex Emperor weapon, the 10,000 Demons banner? Are they the 10,000 banners? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as a strange look appeared in his eyes. He did not feel any Apex Emperor aura from the banners, but why would King Pine Cypress say that it was the 10,000 Demons banner? Ling Xiao had heard of the 10,000 Demons banner before. It was rumored to be a supreme treasure of the demon world that contained the fate of the demon world. It was branded with the origin power of billions of demons. The owner of the 10,000 Demons banner could control the life and death of thousands of demons. However, the 10,000 Demons banner was too old. The only thing that was recorded was that it was related to the Demon Emperor. Legend had it that the Demon Emperor's cultivation improved by leaps and bounds because he controlled the 10,000 Demons banner. He became an emperor and eventually became the ruler of the entire demon world. Ling Xiao did not move as he watched King Pine Cypress's every move. Since King Pine Cypress was sure that the banners were the 10,000 Demons banner, there must be something strange about it. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Ling Xiao saw that King Pine Cypress waved his sleeve after closing the door of the palace. Suddenly, a total of 81 formation flags flew out, intertwining with mysterious light and dazzling runes. Seal! As King Pine Cypress shouted, the 81 formation flags fused with each other and turned into a mysterious rune that sealed the door of the palace. Ling Xiao immediately saw through King Pine Cypress's intention. This old man wants to take the 10,000 Demons banner for himself. In Ling Xiao's opinion, the seal that King Pine Cypress laid down was extremely powerful. Even if White Dragon King, Peony King and Willow King joined forces, it would be difficult to break the seal. King Pine Cypress wanted to stop the other 3 demon kings and take the opportunity to refine the 10,000 Demons banner. Once King Pine and Cypress completely refined the myriad demon banner, even if the other 3 demon monarchs broke the seal and rushed in, they would have no choice but to bow their heads. Ling Xiao's curiosity was piqued. Why was King Songbai so familiar with the demon treasure trove? The myriad demon banner can only belong to me. I've been waiting for this day for too long, and I've been preparing for too long. This time, no one can stop me. King Songbai's eyes were filled with determination and even a trace of madness and fervor. Rumble! King Pine Cypress released a terrifying aura. Light flashed in his palm, and a huge crystal bottle appeared. It was filled with mysterious blood. King Pine Cypress opened the crystal bottle. In an instant, the blood inside turned into tens of thousands of strange blood beads and flew towards the banners. Each blood bead contained an incomparably powerful spiritual fluctuation. At the same time, it seemed as if the soul of a powerful demonic beast was sealed within them. In an instant, they fused together with the huge banner. Those blood beads are all demon monarchs' blood essence, and they contain the complete primordial spirits of demon monarchs. Tens of thousands of demon monarchs. King Pine and Cypress actually killed tens of thousands of demon monarchs. How is this possible? Ling Xiao's body shook violently, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. Those blood beads contained an incomparably vast amount of energy. Moreover, the powerful demonic beast souls within had an incomparably terrifying aura. They contained the fluctuations of the Great Path Law. They were clearly the aura of demon monarchs. Tens of thousands of blood beads and tens of thousands of demon monarch souls. This meant that King Pine and Cypress had killed tens of thousands of demon monarchs for today. What were demon monarchs? They were super powerhouses in the Saint King realm. Even if the entire demon realm added up, there were less than 10,000 Saint Kings. Saint Kings were the overlords of an area, enough to suppress an immortal sect. They were not some random cat or dog that could be casually slaughtered. Ling Xiao could not imagine how King Pine and Cypress could collect tens of thousands of demon monarchs' blood beads and souls. King Pine and Cypress's aura became extremely dangerous. Ling Xiao could clearly feel that King Pine and Cypress's aura was unfathomable. It was actually several times stronger than White Dragon King's aura, almost touching the Emperor realm. Ling Xiao did not dare to act rashly. His expression was solemn as he stared at King Pine and Cypress's every move, waiting for the right time to strike. Since the demon realm's legendary demon banner was here, then no matter what, Ling Xiao had to find a way to obtain it. Rumble! Demon Monarch's blood beads and Demon Monarch's souls contained an incomparably vast amount of energy. After fusing with those blood beads, the tens of thousands of giant banners actually bloomed with dazzling light at the same time. Thousands of auspicious colors, thousands of rays of light, and the terrifying divine beasts branded on them seemed to have come alive, roaring at the same time. Dragon roars, tiger roars, Crane cries, fire phoenixes burning the sky, cheilants roaring. All sorts of mysterious phenomena intertwined together, making the entire palace seem even more ethereal and mysterious. King Pine and Cypress's expression was solemn as a terrifying aura rose around his body. In an instant, his body flashed with light and directly turned into an ancient pine tree. The pine tree looked only a few feet tall and was as thick as a bucket, but its bark was mottled and sparkling like dragon scales. Its branches were knotted, and its pine needles were sparkling and translucent, emitting a sharp light. The pine tree contained an incomparably terrifying energy fluctuation. It gave Ling Xiao the feeling that it far surpassed the other 3 demon monarchs' aura, second only to the 10,000 demon ancient trees' aura. Is this King Pine and Cypress's true body? A pine tree that has turned into a demon? Ling Xiao sighed softly in his heart. It was not easy for King Pine and Cypress to cultivate to this day. If a demon beast wanted to cultivate to the demon monarch realm, it would have to go through countless difficulties and tribulations, and it was 100 times more difficult for a plant to turn into a demon. King Pine and Cypress cultivated from a pine tree to his current realm, only 1 step away from the Emperor realm. It must have been extremely difficult. Ling Xiao could feel that King Pine and Cypress's body contained vast Great Tao laws, but because of the forbidden domain, they were all bound in his body and could not be released. Boom! Above the pine tree, there seemed to be a resplendent sun rising, containing extremely powerful spiritual fluctuations. In an instant, it floated above the hall and burned like a flame. Refine! King Pine and Cypress's voice came from the sun. In an instant, golden flames spewed out from the sun, turning into a vast sea of fire that enveloped the tens of thousands of giant banners. That resplendent sun was King Pine and Cypress's primordial spirit. Please remember the domain name of this book. Third Sect Masters mobile reading website. Chapter 2665. Ling Xiao could clearly sense that King Pine Cypress was burning the power of his primordial spirit to refine the banners. There was a forbidden domain in the palace, so King Pine Cypress couldn't use the Great Tao Law. He could only refine the banners with his primordial spirit. King Pine Cypress's primordial spirit contained boundless energy waves like an eternal flame that wanted to refine all the banners. King Pine Cypress has prepared more than 10,000 Demon King blood beads and Demon King soul essences. This means that he knows there are 10,000 banners here. Could it be that he's been here before? Ling Xiao's eyes flickered as thoughts ran through his mind. He wanted to find an opportunity to snatch the banners, but he still didn't know what they were. Although King Pine Cypress was refining the banners with his primordial spirit, his physical body was also extremely strong and vigilant. It was almost impossible to sneak up on King Pine Cypress. Ling Xiao didn't believe that all the banners were 10,000 demon banners. An apex monarch weapon couldn't be separated into 10,000 banners. There must be a secret that he didn't know. Could it be that the true core of the 10,000 demon banners is among the banners? But King Pine Cypress doesn't know where the core is, so he wants to refine all the banners? Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat. He felt that his idea was a little crazy, but it was probably the closest to the truth. After all, the banners looked exactly the same. Ling Xiao couldn't tell the difference at all. If King Pine Cypress had been here before, he must have tried to find the core of the 10,000 demon banners, but failed. Therefore, he wanted to refine all the banners. When the core was refined, the true body of the 10,000 demon banners would be revealed. Rumble! Inside the palace, flames filled the sky. The endless flames formed a sea of fire that enveloped the tens of thousands of banners. The divine beast marks on the banners seemed to have come alive. They exuded a terrifying aura and roared. The void seemed to be distorted. King Pine Cypress's primordial spirit fire was too terrifying. Ling Xiao could sense that the king's refining speed was very fast. Even though there were more than 10,000 banners here, it didn't take long for him to refine 10% of them. At this rate, King Pine Cypress would be able to refine all the banners in less than a day. I have to find a way to find the core of the myriad demon banner. Otherwise, once I'm exposed, I'll have to face the wrath of King Pine and Cypress. King Pine and Cypress is still manageable. Even if he can't beat me, he should be able to escape. However, there are still 3 greater demon monarchs. Most importantly, the myriad demon banner. Ling Xiao thought to himself as a strange light flashed in his eyes. He felt that the situation was very tricky. He wanted to deal with King Pine and Cypress, but until now, he still hadn't seen the real myriad demon banner. If all his guesses were wrong, then all his efforts would be for naught. Ling Xiao's only advantage now was that he was in the dark. King Songbai had not discovered him. However, he was afraid that if he delayed for too long, it would be too late for King Songbai to refine all the banners. Rumble. Just as Ling Xiao felt that the situation was extremely tricky and had yet to make up his mind, an earth-shattering sound was suddenly heard. The gate of the palace began to shake violently. Someone was attacking the gate of the palace. It's the Peony Monarch, Willow Monarch, and White Dragon Monarch. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he instantly made up his mind. It seemed that the 3 greater demon monarchs were not easy to deal with. Although they were a little behind King Pine and Cypress, they were not too late and had finally rushed out of the Emperor formation. They must have discovered that something was wrong with the gate of the palace, so they attacked the gate of the palace. Boom, boom, boom. Powerful attacks landed on the gate of the palace like thunderbolts, causing the surrounding void to shake violently. Blazing divine light even leaked out from outside the palace, causing the powerful seal left by King Pine and Cypress to tremble slightly. Outside the palace were the Peony Monarch, Willow Monarch, and White Dragon Monarch. However, the 3 of them had ugly expressions at the moment. Their eyes were extremely gloomy and filled with flames of anger. It must be King Pine and Cypress. That old thing knows so much about the demon treasure. He must have entered it before us and then sealed the gate of the palace. White Dragon Monarch said coldly. His face was pale and his eyes were surging with killing intent. You're right. Only King Pine and Cypress managed to enter the myriad beasts' secret trove before us. The seal of the gate of the palace was clearly set up not long ago. Did he really think that he could fool us? Willow Monarch said coldly. Do you guys think that it's Ling Tian who has entered it? Peony Monarch's eyes flashed as he said slowly. Impossible. What ability does that kid have? He's only an eminent saint. I think he can't even withstand the extreme Emperor aura. Maybe he's already dead inside. It must be King Pine and Cypress in the palace. White Dragon Monarch snorted coldly. That's right. Now that things have come to this, the 3 of us must work together. Don't hold back and use your most powerful techniques to break the seal. Willow Monarch said solemnly. Peony Monarch and White Dragon Monarch nodded. If they allowed King Pine and Cypress to obtain the inheritance in the demon treasure, it would be too late. Rumble. The 3 great demon monarchs erupted with an extremely terrifying aura as they displayed powerful killing techniques. They even took out various powerful treasures and blasted them towards the gate of the palace. The palace emitted 9-colored divine light as if it was made of some kind of divine gold. Although it looked indestructible, the reason why the gate of the palace could not be opened was because there was a seal in it. As long as the seal was opened, they would naturally be able to enter the palace. The 3 of them were incomparably furious. They were certain that King Pine and Cypress was receiving a powerful inheritance, so they sealed the gate of the palace. They attacked the seal on the gate of the palace madly. Rumble. Although the seal set up by King Pine and Cypress was extremely powerful, under the joint attack of the 3 great demon monarchs, the seal quickly dimmed. In the end, a blood-red light appeared in White Dragon Monarch's palm. In an instant, a huge blood-red dragon appeared in the sky. It contained an energy fluctuation that could destroy everything and directly blasted on the seal. The seal shattered with a loud bang, and the gate of the palace opened with a loud bang. Charge in! The 3 great demon monarchs' eyes lit up. Light flashed around their bodies as they turned into 3 divine rainbows and instantly rushed into the palace. Chapter 2666. Rumble. The door of the demon's secret treasure opened and blazing divine light spewed out. Peony King, Willow King and White Dragon King rushed into the palace. But before they could get a clear look at the palace, they heard an old voice ring out. "Formation rise." Lightning seemed to explode in the void, causing the surroundings to roar in an instant. 81 formation flags appeared around Peony King, Willow King, and White Dragon King. They intertwined with each other, forming an extremely powerful trapping formation. The 81 array flags emitted a dazzling light. It was as if there was a star emitting an immeasurable amount of star power. They merged into one and turned into an incomparably dazzling starry sky. King Pine Cypress is indeed well prepared. Not only did he set up a seal, but he also set up a trap formation. Ling Zhao's eyes revealed a trace of surprise. The 81 array flags had originally formed a powerful seal. However, after the seal was broken by the 3 demon kings, the array flags did not immediately disperse. Instead, they intertwined with each other and formed a powerful array formation. In Ling Zhao's eyes, the bright stars on the flag were actually star crystal cores. They were supreme treasures of heaven and earth. In order to trap the 3 monster kings, King Pine Cypress had sacrificed 81 star crystal cores. Good stuff. The star crystal core is also a supreme treasure. It's a supplementary material for refining an Apex Emperor weapon. King Pine Cypress is really rich. Ling Zhao's eyes shone brightly as he was tempted. King Pine Cypress, how dare you take the demon's secret treasure for yourself? The White Dragon King roared furiously. His voice contained a monstrous fury. It was as if a dragon's roar exploded in the void, causing the surrounding void to tremble violently in an instant. The White Dragon King shook his body and transformed into a white dragon that was tens of thousands of feet long. His chi and blood soared, exuding a monstrous aura. He wanted to break out of the trap formation. King Pine Cypress, the demon's secret treasure does not belong to you alone. Quickly open the formation. The Peony King also shouted coldly. Vast waves rose around her, as if an endless sea had appeared, and suddenly blasted out in all directions. He is determined to take the myriad demon's secret trove for himself. The star crystal core on the 81 array flags is the power core of this array. Destroy the star crystal core and we will be able to charge out. Willow King said in a deep voice. Kill! White Dragon King roared. Peony King and Willow King also used powerful divine abilities to attack the 81 star crystal cores. Aren't the 3 of you too childish? Like I said, once we enter the myriad fiend treasure trove, we will rely on our own abilities. Once I refine the myriad demon banner, I'll be the supreme ruler of this vast demon realm. At that time, as long as you submit to me, I won't kill you. The king's old and domineering voice resounded, causing the monarch's expressions to become even more unsightly. Rumble. The 3 monarchs seemed to have gone completely mad. Like 3 blazing torrents, they attacked the star crystal core fiercely. Although the star crystal core was extremely sturdy and was protected by the array flags, under the attacks of the 3 monarchs, it began to shatter. This old man, how can he refine it so quickly? Ling Zhao furrowed his brows. He saw that the 3 monarchs were trapped in the formation, but King Pine Cypress had already refined half of the banners. At this rate, King Pine Cypress would refine all of the banners before the 3 monarchs could charge out of the formation. I have to make a move. Ling Zhao's eyes narrowed as he made a prompt decision. Although he had not found the core of the myriad demon banner, if he did not make a move now, all of the banners would be refined by King Pine Cypress. Soon, 80% of the banners were refined by King Pine Cypress. Rumble. An ancient, mysterious, and vast power rose, containing an extremely terrifying emperor's aura. The heavenly might was like a prison steel. In an instant, it turned into a huge heavenly steel and pressed down on King Pine Cypress. Lingdun, how dare you? King Pine Cypress roared furiously, his voice filled with exasperation. He did not need to guess to know that Ling Zhao had made a move. Other than Ling Zhao, no one else could have entered the myriad demon's secret trove. King Pine Cypress gritted his teeth in shock and anger. He did not expect Ling Xiao to have entered the myriad demons' secret trove before him and hid. Even he did not notice Ling Xiao's whereabouts. Rumble. Ling Xiao ignored King Pine Cypress. The heavenly might was like a prison steel. It was an emperor's weapon that contained millions of caddies of divine power. At this moment, it pressed down on King Pine Cypress with terrifying power. Even if I can't kill you, I must severely injure you, Ling Xiao thought to himself. His eyes were extremely sharp. This palace contained a forbidden domain. Hiding in the heavens might prison steel, he had already expended a large amount of the power of his primordial spirit. Now that he forcefully activated the heavens might prison steel, he only had enough power left for one attack. The giant pine tree stood in the center of the palace, and billions of flames rose around him. The blazing divine light surged like the sea. The power of his primordial spirit was incomparably strong, but at this moment, it was all tied down by the 10,000 huge banners. Above the pine tree, divine light surged. In an instant, it condensed into a huge palm and went to meet the heavenly majestic prison monument. As if there was an explosion of lightning, blazing divine light swept in all directions. The huge divine light hand was shattered. The heavenly might contained unparalleled emperor's aura. It was not something that King Pine Cypress could withstand. It instantly slammed into the pine tree. King Pine Cypress's body shook violently. His branches and leaves exploded and bright red blood flowed out of his body. He let out a miserable and angry roar. Ling Tian, I'm going to kill you. King Pine Cypress hated Ling Tian to the extreme. There was a hint of madness in his voice. If not for the fact that more than half of his nascent divinity was restrained by the tens of thousands of giant banners, he would not have been struck by the heavenly might in an instant like a target. That brat Ling Tian actually entered the demon treasury as well? Let's break the formation while Ling Tian is holding King Pine Cypress back. We must not let the inheritance in the demon treasure fall into King Pine Cypress's hands. The Peony King was shocked and hurriedly said to Willow King, "Okay." Willow King nodded. Millions of sword lights appeared around him. The sword chi was unparalleled. It was as if it could pierce through everything. It shot towards the star crystal cores. Instantly, a few more star crystal cores shattered. Genius memorized this address in 1 second. Mobile version of reading website Thim. Chapter 2667. That Ling Tian actually entered the demon treasure earlier than King Pine and Cypress? How is this possible? White Dragon King's eyes were filled with disbelief. He had never taken Ling Xiao seriously and even thought that Ling Xiao had already died in the Supreme Emperor formation outside. Who would have thought that Ling Xiao would appear at this time? Boom. Although White Dragon King was extremely shocked, his attacks were not weak at all. The White Dragon body gave him unparalleled divine strength, and he shattered the star crystal cores one by one. After the heavenly might prison monument exploded with its strongest attack, it instantly turned into a stream of light and flew back into Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness. At this moment, King Pine and Cypress looked extremely miserable. Half of the branches and leaves of the originally majestic pine tree had exploded, and even the trunk had cracks. Rich life essence escaped from the cracks, and King Pine and Cypress's face appeared on the trunk. However, King Pine and Cypress no longer had the sage-like demeanor from before. His face was extremely distorted, and his eyes were filled with cold, killing intent. King Pine and Cypress, you've refined over 10,000 banners here. You've worked too hard. Why don't I help you refine a few of them? Ling Xiao smiled slightly. In an instant, the light between his eyebrows shone brightly, and the devouring fire turned into divine chains of order. They instantly wrapped around the banners, and the flames burned fiercely, beginning to refine the banners. Lington, how dare you? King Pine and Cypress was furious. In an instant, a blazing light rose from his body, and he turned back into an old man with white hair and beard. He returned to his human form. His face was very pale, and there were traces of blood at the corner of his mouth. His chest had caved in, and even though there was a majestic aura of life around him, How could it be so easy for him to recover from the injuries caused by the heavenly might of the prison monument? How was this a Tao injury? It was a Tao injury left behind by the extreme Tao might. However, King Pine and Cypress did not care about the injuries on his body. In an instant, he pounced towards Ling Xiao, and there seemed to be a blazing sun rising in his palm. Why wouldn't I dare? King Pine Cypress, this is the legendary myriad demon banner. So what if you give me 100 of them? Ling Xiao smiled faintly and threw out a punch as well. Ling Xiao and King Pine Cypress collided fiercely. Surging divine power gushed out. King Pine Cypress's body seemed to be burning, while Ling Xiao's body was surrounded by purple qi. He looked majestic and mysterious. Rumble. Both Ling Xiao and King Pine Cypress retreated at the same time. King Pine and Cypress, it seems like your physical body is only SOSO. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, but his eyes were incomparably sharp. His heart was slightly shaken. The punch just now seemed very casual, but it contained the power of the primordial immortal body. Even so, it was easily blocked by King Pine and Cypress. King Pine and Cypress's body was incomparably terrifying. Even White Dragon King's body was not as strong as King Pine and Cypress's, as expected of the leader of the 4 demon kings. Although Ling Xiao was fighting with King Pine and Cypress, he was also using his primordial spirit to activate the heaven-devouring fire to refine the 100 giant banners. Just now, when the Heaven's Might Prison Steel had unleashed its strongest attack, Ling Xiao had sensed a strange aura flashing through the tens of thousands of giant banners. Before he could capture the exact location of that aura, he had already seized the hundreds of giant banners around that aura. It must be the core of the myriad demon banner that can react to the Heaven's Might Prison Steel. Ling Xiao understood. The Extreme Tao Emperor weapon was like the incarnation of a supreme great emperor. When great emperors met, just the confrontation of their Extreme Tao Emperor aura was enough to tear apart a saint. It was extremely terrifying. When the Extreme Tao Emperor weapons met, it would definitely cause the other party to resist. Ling Xiao guessed that the Heaven's Might Prison Steel's Extreme Tao Emperor aura had caused the core of the myriad demon banner to resist, which was why it emitted that strange aura. It was just that King Pine and Cypress did not notice it. Although Ling Xiao looked like he was fighting with King Pine and Cypress for control of the 100 giant banners, he was actually carefully searching for the core of the myriad demon banner. However, although King Pine and Cypress did not know that Ling Xiao had discovered the core of the myriad demon banner, he knew that he had to refine all the giant banners to be safe. The 100 giant banners could not be refined by Ling Xiao. If Ling Xiao refined the core of the myriad demon banner, then all his efforts would be for naught. Rumble. Ling Xiao and King Pine and Cypress exchanged blows in the void like lightning. Their speed was extremely fast, leaving behind afterimages. This was the forbidden domain, so they could only rely on their powerful physical bodies to fight. However, King Pine and Cypress's physical body had been tempered for tens of millions of years. Even those divine beasts with powerful bloodlines were inferior to him. For a moment, King Pine and Ling Xiao were evenly matched. Neither of them could do anything to the other. While King Pine and Cypress were refining the remaining giant banners, he unleashed the power of his primordial spirit in an attempt to snatch Ling Xiao's 100 giant banners. Rumble. The palace of the myriad demon treasure became extremely chaotic. However, the palace was also extremely powerful and mysterious. It seemed to contain endless space and was extremely sturdy. Although the fierce battle between Ling Xiao and King Pine and Cypress caused the palace to tremble violently, it did not show any signs of breaking. Flames spread across the sky as if a sun was condensing in the void. The pine tree in the sun looked crystal clear and mysterious. It rushed over like lightning, trying to snatch the control of those banners from the sky-devouring fire. Although Ling Xiao's physical body was extremely strong, he was only a great saint. His primordial spirit was not as strong as King Pine and Cypress's. The devouring fire was gradually losing ground. Found it. Ling Xiao's eyes suddenly flashed with a blazing light. He had finally discovered that among the 100 giant banners, There was a black banner that was very strange. His devouring fire seemed to have no way of refining it. And the thing that reacted to the heavenly might prison monument was this huge black banner. It was very likely to be the core of the myriad demon banner. Rumble. At this moment, the huge trap formation set up by King Pine and Cypress collapsed. The 81-star crystal cores were extremely dim and shattered, flying in all directions. 3 figures with extremely terrifying auras appeared in front of Ling Xiao and King Pine and Cypress. It was the Peony King, Willow King, and White Dragon King who had rushed out of the trap formation. Kill! The 3 demon kings scanned the situation in the palace. When they saw Ling Xiao and King Pine and Cypress fighting over the 100 giant banners, their killing intent surged. Their eyes were extremely cold as they charged towards King Pine and Cypress. Although the 3 of them did not know what the giant banners represented, they knew that it must be a supreme treasure if Ling Xiao and King Pine and Cypress were fighting over it. Genius memorized this site's address in a second. Mobile version of reading website Tim. Chapter 2668. Ha! You want the 10,000 demon banner? Then I'll give it all to you. Ling Xiao suddenly laughed out loud. He stomped his foot, and a supreme divine power gushed out. Then he waved his sleeve, and the hundreds of banners shook violently. They actually flew up, and like sharp swords, they enveloped the 4 demon kings with the heaven-devouring fire. What? King Pine Cypress's expression changed drastically. The tens of thousands of giant banners were one with the 10,000 demons' secret manual. Unless one could refine the core of the 10,000 demon banner, there was no way to pull out any of the giant banners. How did Ling Xiao do it? Rumble. The giant banners were incomparably sharp and contained an incomparably terrifying energy fluctuation, causing the 4 monster kings to suddenly change their expressions. They did not dare to be negligent in the slightest as they leaped up one after another, displaying their powerful techniques to attack those giant banners. Even though the 4 demon kings' bodies were extremely strong, they felt an extremely strong rebounding force when they slapped the giant banners. Their arms were numb and their blood was in turmoil. The giant banners, which were only a few feet long, seemed to contain millions of tons of divine power. They were unable to resist. Especially the White Dragon King. Ling Xiao seemed to be deliberately targeting him. There were 60 to 70 giant banners flying towards him. They pierced the sky like divine arrows with terrifying power. Although the White Dragon King unleashed his supreme divine power and blasted the giant banners away, he felt as if he was struck by lightning. He coughed up blood and his eyes were filled with anger. Ling Tian, I'm going to kill you. The White Dragon King's eyes were extremely gloomy and filled with cold killing intent. No, there are only 99 giant banners here. The giant banner in your hand? King Pine Cypress's body trembled. His eyes were filled with shock as he suddenly raised his head to look at Ling Xiao. He saw that Ling Xiao was holding a giant black banner in his hand. Rumble. Ling Xiao's blood was boiling. He held a giant black banner in his hand and exuded a powerful battle intent. His body was surrounded by purple divine light, making him look even more mysterious and majestic. King Pine Cypress, if I'm not wrong, this giant banner is the core of the 10,000 demon banner. What a pity. You've prepared for so long, but in the end, you're just going to be my wedding dress. Ling Xiao smiled, revealing his snow-white teeth. His smile was very bright. This black banner was the one that reacted to the heavenly might prison steel. Sky-devouring fire constantly poured out from Ling Xiao's forehead, completely enveloping the black banner. The fire burned brightly, containing Ling Xiao's soul imprint. He wanted to refine the black banner, the core of the myriad demon banner. That belongs to this old man. Hand it over. King Cedarwood's body trembled, and his eyes turned blood red. He had painstakingly set everything up and waited for tens of millions of years for the myriad demon banner. But now, the 10,000 demons banner had fallen into Ling Xiao's hands. This enraged Ling Xiao completely. His entire body was filled with murderous intent. He threw a punch at Ling Xiao, and the qi of Xianhuang surged around him, causing his body to be filled with an immortal luster. He was extremely ferocious, as if he could destroy everything. The core of the myriad demon banner? Ling Tian, as long as you hand it over to me, I'll spare your life. The White Dragon King's eyes were also blazing as he leaped toward Ling Xiao. The Peony King and Willow King looked at each other. Their chi and blood also surged, and a strong fighting spirit erupted as they pounced toward Ling Xiao. The White Dragon King, the Peony King, and Willow King might not know what the core of the myriad demon banner was, but that did not stop them from fighting for it. The 4 demon kings attacked at the same time, and the terrifying aura fluctuations seemed to be able to tear everything apart. Ling Xiao instantly became the focus of their attention. Each and every one of them displayed their most powerful killing techniques, wanting to kill Ling Xiao completely and snatch the core of the 10,000 demon banner. With just you guys? I'd like to see how strong the 4 demon kings are. Ling Xiao sneered, and an extremely strong fighting spirit surged in his eyes. Purple lightning flashed around him, and his chi and blood surged, intertwining into mysterious runes. The mighty purple chi surged like a terrifying sea, and his heart and head began to glow. The primordial immortal body was completely activated. Even when facing the 4 demon kings, Ling Xiao was not afraid at all. Boom! The giant black banner in Ling Xiao's hand was used as a long spear, and it flapped loudly. In an instant, it soared into the sky and suppressed the 4 demon kings as if it was sweeping through an army. If they were in the outside world, the strength of the 4 demon kings would not be affected, and Ling Xiao might not be a match for them. However, in the myriad demon treasure, within the forbidden zone, he could only rely on his strong physical strength and primordial spirit to contend with them. What did Ling Xiao have to fear? Clang! The Pine and Cypress King took the lead and punched the giant black banner. Immediately, the sound of metal clashing rang out, and the void shook violently. The White Dragon King's body emitted blazing divine thunder, and the lightning surged, increasing his speed to the extreme. In an instant he blasted hundreds of punches toward Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao held the giant black banner in one hand and the invincible fist print in the other. Purple chi rose around him, and his fists were powerful and unparalleled. Even when facing the siege of the 4 demon kings, he was still fearless. It was as if there was a purple sun in Ling Xiao's body, blooming with unparalleled brilliance, providing him with an endless supply of energy. He also exchanged hundreds of punches with the White Dragon King in an instant, and finally blasted the White Dragon King away. Kill! Ling Xiao roared. Facing the Peony King and Willow King who were charging towards him, his eyes were filled with a strong fighting spirit. The giant banner soared into the sky like a giant black dragon, piercing toward the Peony King. However, the Peony King waved his sleeve, and it immediately rolled over, turning into streaks of white light that wrapped around the black banner. At the same time, a pink mist gushed out of the Peony King's palm, enveloping Ling Xiao. On the other hand, sword chi surged around Willow King. His jade-like face had turned cold at this moment. His eyes were like lightning, and a huge willow tree that was rooted in chaos seemed to appear behind him. Willow branches drooped down like sword chi, piercing towards Ling Xiao. The Peony King and Willow King's cooperation was impeccable, locking onto Ling Xiao's vital points. Break! Ling Xiao roared. Violent vital energy and blood surged around him, and he roared like a primordial dragon. The giant black banner shook violently, crushing the streaks of white light. At the same time, Ling Xiao leapt up, and a stream of heaven-devouring fire surged over, enveloping the pink mist. He wanted to burn it to ashes. Although Ling Xiao didn't know what the pink mist was, he could tell that it must be a method to target his soul, so he didn't dare to touch it at all. Genius memorized this site's address in a second. Mobile version of reading website. Chapter 2669. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Just as Ling Xiao rose into the air, Willow King's hundreds of millions of sword chi streaked across the sky, containing the power to pierce through everything. It was so sharp that even Ling Xiao felt threatened. Kill! Ling Xiao roared, and a powerful fighting spirit surged around him. He punched out in the air, and purple chi spread out for 3,000 feet, colliding with the sword chi that filled the sky. The sound of metal clashing erupted, and sparks flew everywhere. Boom! All of Ling Xiao's pores were spewing out purple gold light. It was his powerful chi and blood. It spread out and formed an extremely powerful barrier, blocking the sword chi that filled the sky outside. At the same time, Ling Xiao's speed was like lightning. He dodged Willow King's attack while looking for an opportunity to counterattack. The refining speed of the core of the 10,000 demon banner is actually so slow? Ling Xiao furrowed his brows, his eyes filled with incomparable doubt. His primordial spirit was also extremely powerful. He used the power of his primordial spirit to activate the sky-devouring fire, wanting to refine the giant black banner in his hand. However, Ling Xiao could feel that the giant black banner seemed to be resisting his power, and it was extremely difficult to do so. King Pine Cypress and White Dragon King charged over again. Their eyes were like lightning, and their bodies were filled with murderous intent. Speaking of which, King Pine Cypress and White Dragon King hated Ling Xiao the most. If it were not for Ling Xiao, King Pine Cypress might have refined the core of the 10,000 demon banner. At this moment, Ling Xiao held the core of the 10,000 demon banner in his hand and became the focus of the 4 demon kings' attacks. They all wanted to kill him. Rumble! The 4 demon kings' attacks were extremely fierce, and each attack was aimed at Ling Xiao's vital points. After all, they were all celestial venerables. Although they were in the forbidden zone and could not use the Great Path's precepts, his physical body had been refined for thousands of years, and his primordial spirit was even more powerful. His strength had reached the peak of the Saint Path, and his combat strength had not decreased by much. If it were only one demon king, Ling Xiao might be able to suppress him quickly. However, when the 4 demon kings joined forces, the combat strength that erupted from them made Ling Xiao feel extremely pressured. Although the 4 demon kings were not on good terms with each other, their cultivation had reached their current level. When it came to joining forces in a battle, their coordination was superb. Almost as soon as they made a move, Ling Xiao was at a disadvantage. Ling Xiao blocked left and right. Although his physical body was extremely strong, he was unable to effectively deal any damage to a demon king. He could only passively resist the attacks of the 4 demon kings. Ling Tian, hand over the core of the myriad demon banner. Otherwise, you'll definitely die today. King Pine and Cypress said coldly. His eyes were incomparably cold. His strength was the strongest, and the strength of his body was incomparably terrifying. His body contained immortal energy, and even his bones had been refined into indestructible bones. Although he had been severely injured by the prison monument, his attacks were ruthless and decisive. Each of his attacks had targeted Ling Xiao's vital points, making Ling Xiao feel incomparably troubled. Almost in an instant, they had fought over 100 rounds. The 4 demon kings had firmly gained the upper hand. King Pine and Cypress saw that Ling Xiao was about to be suppressed, so he hoped to tempt Ling Xiao into giving him the core of the myriad demon banner. Ling Tian, as long as you give me the giant black banner in your hand, our grudges will be written off. I'll spare your life. The White Dragon King also sneered. Ling Tian, my young friend, you'd better hand over the giant black banner. Such a treasure is not something you can possess. If you continue to resist stubbornly, only death will await you. The Peony King also sighed softly. She still had a good impression of Ling Xiao and did not want to see Ling Xiao die. However, this battle for the myriad demon banner was a battle of luck. She could not give it up just because she had a good impression of Ling Xiao. Willow King's eyes were cold. Although he did not speak, a willow branch swept across the sky like a sharp sword. It was extremely sharp, instantly leaving a deep wound on Ling Xiao's back. He had used his actions to express his attitude. The 4 demon kings were determined to obtain the myriad demon banner. If Ling Xiao did not hand over the myriad demon banner, they would not hold back at all. Do you really think you've got me? Ling Xiao abruptly raised his head, and his eyes became incomparably blood-red. His entire body emitted an incomparably violent aura. You're courting death. King Pine Cypress's eyes flashed with murderous intent. In an instant, his vital energy and blood surged, and a large yellow palm pressed down on Ling Xiao. Rumble! The purple-gold vital energy and blood in Ling Xiao's body surged like a surging river. His body seemed to emit a vast power of the great Tao. It overflowed from his body like thunder, causing the void to rumble violently. Kill! Ling Xiao suddenly roared. His eyes contained a strong fighting spirit as he punched towards King Pine Cypress. His fist was unparalleled and contained an invincible aura. It was as if it had turned into a chaotic divine dragon in an instant. The dragon's aura was unparalleled as it pressed down on King Pine Cypress. Seeing that Ling Xiao seemed to want to fight King Pine Cypress, White Dragon King, Peony King, and Willow King also took the opportunity to attack Ling Xiao. Just like Feng said, this brat has the bloodline of the Dragon Clan. He has at least the bloodline of the 9-star Divine Dragon, or even the bloodline of the Ancestral Dragon. As long as I devour his bloodline, I might be able to take the last step. White Dragon King thought to himself. His eyes were filled with an incomparable murderous intent. White Dragon King's body was surging with blood-red light. His eyes flickered with a dangerous fluctuation. His palm silently turned into a large blood-red palm print, and then directly slammed towards Ling Xiao's back. Blood Dragon swallowing the Sky Seal. This was White Dragon King's most terrifying innate ability. It could devour the essence, blood, and primordial spirit of living creatures and turn it into a part of himself. It was this ability that allowed White Dragon King to grow to this day. However, he rarely revealed the Blood Dragon devouring Heaven Seal in front of outsiders. Anyone who saw it was already dead. Until he saw that Ling Xiao was about to fight King Pine Cypress, he quietly used the Blood Dragon swallowing the Sky Seal to injure Ling Xiao and devour his bloodline of the Ancestral Dragon. Rumble! Ling Xiao and King Pine Cypress suddenly collided. In an instant, the void trembled, and blazing divine light gushed out. Ling Xiao's body shook, and he was directly sent flying by King Pine Cypress. King Pine Cypress's eyes revealed a strange look. He realized that Ling Xiao's strength was very strong, and it didn't seem like he was going to risk his life. Ling Xiao's speed was extremely fast, and he was flying towards White Dragon King. The blood-red palm print behind White Dragon King seemed to be about to be hit by the Blood Dragon swallowing the Sky Seal. White Dragon King's eyes instantly revealed a cold, murderous intent. This was a heaven-sent opportunity. The blood-red light around him poured into his palm, and the Blood Dragon swallowing the Sky Seal emitted a terrifying fluctuation, wanting to kill Ling Xiao with one blow. Chapter 2670. Boom! Just as Ling Xiao's back was about to be hit by the Blood Dragon swallowing the Sky print, his body twisted at an unbelievable angle and moved a few inches to the side. The Blood Dragon swallowing the Sky print brushed past Ling Xiao's ribs. The spot where it came into contact with Ling Xiao's skin actually burst out a bright divine light. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a hint of mockery. He suddenly clamped his arm and an unparalleled divine power burst out, clamping White Dragon King's arm directly. At the same time, Ling Xiao's elbow was as fast as lightning, aiming for White Dragon King's face. What? White Dragon King's face changed slightly. He did not expect Ling Xiao to dodge the Blood Dragon swallowing the Sky Prince's attack and even counterattack. The speed of the elbow strike was too fast. Even the White Dragon King could not react in time. He instantly felt a heavy blow on his face. His nose was shattered, and his face was covered in blood. A sharp pain came, and the White Dragon King almost shed tears. His face was his Achilles heel. Although his whole body was as hard as diamond, his face was still his weakest point. Now that he was hit by Ling Xiao's elbow, his eyes immediately turned black. Lington, you're courting death. White Dragon King was furious. In an instant, blazing lightning rose around his body. The black lightning contained a terrifying destructive power and enveloped Ling Xiao in an instant. Kill! Ling Xiao roared. Chaotic light rose around his body. In an instant he threw a punch at White Dragon King. When this punch was thrown, It was as if all the energy in Ling Zhao's body was gushing out. It contained a force that could split the heavens and earth. It was like the invincible force of creation in the endless chaos. It wanted to obliterate all the worlds, shatter all the civilizations, and annihilate all the living beings. At the same time, there was an unparalleled divine power that could split the heavens and earth and create all living beings. Extreme killing and extreme vitality fused together to form this unimaginable fist technique. Epic Fist. Ling Zhao's punch made the four demon kings feel as if an epoch was collapsing and all living beings were wailing in grief. They could not help but tremble. Especially White Dragon King, who was being targeted by Ling Zhao, was trembling violently. Facing Ling Zhao's epic fist, he felt the threat of death. Damn it! He wanted to kill me from the very beginning. The White Dragon King's expression was extremely ugly. His eyes were filled with incomparable madness. It turned out that Ling Zhao's intention to fight King Pine Cypress was fake. His real intention was to kill King Pine Cypress. Ling Zhao's punch seemed to have landed on White Dragon King's blood dragon swallowing the sky seal, but in reality, it was just a ploy to kill White Dragon King. The White Dragon King felt ridiculous. He had never put Ling Zhao in his eyes. He thought that Ling Zhao was just an ant. Now, this ant wanted to kill him? However, the fist of the epic made the White Dragon King feel an invincible aura, as if death was his eternal destination. Rumble! White Dragon King's body surged with terrifying divine light, and the blood in his body seemed to be burning. He roared angrily, and his eyes were filled with crazy killing intent. He punched out, trying to block Ling Zhao's fist of the epic. You must block it? The White Dragon King roared in his heart. If he could not block this punch, he was afraid that he would really die. The fist of the epic pressed down, as if the universe was about to be destroyed at the same time. The demon's secret treasury trembled violently, and this incomparably sturdy palace seemed to be about to collapse because of Ling Zhao's punch. However, Ling Zhao did not notice that the huge black banner in his hand seemed to be emitting a mysterious light. It was like an incomparably human emotion, and it became incomparably agitated. The fist of the epic fell, and the White Dragon King's arms made an incomparably crisp sound. They suddenly broke apart, and his flesh was badly mangled. Then they turned into dust in an instant. Ling Zhao's punch did not lose its momentum. It directly landed on the White Dragon King's chest, blasting a huge bloody hole in his chest. An incomparably terrifying divine power surged into the White Dragon King's body, causing his body to tremble violently. Spiderweb-like cracks appeared on his body, as if he would collapse at any time. The White Dragon King was suddenly sent flying. Blood spurted out of his mouth as if it was free. His entire body was covered in blood. His flesh was badly mutilated, and he looked extremely miserable. Die! Ling Zhao's face was slightly pale, but his eyes were incomparably sharp. His entire body's battle intent rose to the extreme. The huge black banner in his hand was like a bolt of black lightning. In an instant, it pierced through the void and pierced towards the White Dragon King's forehead. Ling Zhao wanted to kill the White Dragon King with this blow. Save me! The White Dragon King roared. He looked at the King of Cypress Pine, the Peony King, and the Willow King with eyes full of pleading and despair. He was completely terrified. He could not believe that Ling Zhao could actually kill him. At this moment, the dignity of a demon king, the anger and hatred, the fortune and opportunity, all disappeared from his heart. He only wanted to survive. Get lost! The King of Cypress Pine, the Peony King, and the Willow King only hesitated for a moment. The King of Cypress Pine suddenly roared, and the three monster kings immediately charged towards Ling Zhao. Ling Zhao's fist of the epic was too terrifying, and it was extremely fast. They did not have the slightest chance to stop it, and the White Dragon King was severely injured by Ling Zhao. However, the White Dragon King could not die. They had already seen how terrifying Ling Zhao was. If the White Dragon King really died in Ling Zhao's hands, then the three of them were afraid that they would be in danger. At this moment, regardless of whether it was for the death of a rabbit or for other reasons, They had to save the White Dragon King no matter what. Those who block me shall die. Ling Zhao's eyes were filled with cold, killing intent. The blazing blood light around him rose, and the chaotic mist spread behind him as if an ancient and mysterious hell had emerged. A mysterious figure swallowed the world and suppressed the 9 heavens and 10 lands. It contained invincible luck, and it suppressed the 3 of them from the sky. Celestial Emperor Prison Suppression Skill. Although Ling Xiao could not activate the principle of Great Path, he could still erupt with extremely terrifying combat strength just by using the power of his physical body and primordial spirit to activate this Supreme Emperor technique. As soon as the Celestial Emperor Prison Suppression skill was used, the 3 of them changed their expressions. Their eyes became more and more shocked and dignified. Ling Zhao's endless means made them somewhat incredulous. How could a mere Supreme Saint have so many powerful secret skills and trump cards? Rumble. The 3 of them were blocked by Ling Zhao's Celestial Emperor Prison Suppression skill, and the giant black banner in his hand was like a black lightning, instantly piercing through the White Dragon King's forehead. How could I die? The White Dragon King's eyes widened. His eyes were filled with disbelief, unwillingness, despair, and regret. At this moment, he was already an arrow at the end of its flight. His physical body was severely injured by Ling Zhao's Fist of the Epic, and he was in the Forbidden Zone. There was no way he could escape Ling Zhao's fatal blow. The giant black banner pierced through the White Dragon King's forehead and directly killed his primordial spirit. The White Dragon King roared unwillingly. The light in his eyes dimmed instantly, and he died. Rumble. At this moment, King Pine Cypress also broke through the Celestial Emperor Prison Suppression skill's unparalleled palm print and blasted Ling Xiao away, but it was too late. The White Dragon King had already died in Ling Zhao's hands. The White Dragon King is dead. King Pine Cypress, Peony King, and Willow King's eyes were filled with disbelief. They were completely stunned. Please remember the domain name of this book. Mobile version of reading website. Chapter 2671. Who was White Dragon King? He was one of the overlords of the Endless Island. His strength was unfathomable. He was an old monster who had lived for tens of millions of years. His cultivation had reached the peak of the Saint Path, and he was a supreme expert in the Celestial Master Realm. In terms of strength alone, White Dragon King was second only to King Pine and Cypress, and was on par with Peony King and Willow King. Ling Xiao had actually killed White Dragon King under the siege of the 4 Demon Kings. King Pine and Cypress, Peony King, and Willow King did not expect this battle to be so tragic. White Dragon King is dead. Do you still want the demon banner? Ling Zhao's face was extremely pale, and bright red blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. However, his eyes were extremely sharp, and his body emitted a monstrous murderous aura as he stared at the 3 Demon Kings in front of him. The huge black banner in his hand was inserted between White Dragon King's eyebrows, piercing through his head. His corpse was directly lifted up, and it looked extremely miserable. Ling Tian, you are already an arrow at the end of its flight. I advise you not to resist stubbornly and hand over the core of the demon banner. King Pine and Cypress shouted. His eyes were filled with cold, killing intent. Although White Dragon King's death shocked him, he could not give up the core of the demon banner because of this. Moreover, he could also see that Ling Xiao had just used the Fist of the Epic to kill White Dragon King with the huge black banner. Then he used the Celestial Emperor's Prison Suppression technique to withstand the terrifying attacks of the 3 Demon Kings. Ling Zhao's current state was already an arrow at the end of its flight. Peony King and Willow King did not speak, but their expressions were extremely solemn. White Dragon King's death made them unable to calm down for a long time. Although White Dragon King's combat strength was on par with theirs, their physical bodies were not as strong as White Dragon King's in this Forbidden Zone. Ling Xiao could even kill White Dragon King directly. Did this mean that he could also kill the 2 of them? Unconsciously, they felt a sense of fear in their hearts. You can try. Ling Xiao grinned. His white teeth were mixed with bright red blood, which made his smile look a little ferocious, and it made people's hair stand on end. Boom! At this moment, the huge black banner in Ling Xiao's hand suddenly buzzed and trembled. The White Dragon King, who had been pierced by the huge banner, instantly turned into a torrent and was devoured by the huge black banner. The White Dragon King turned into ashes at a speed visible to the naked eye, completely disappearing in front of everyone. What? The White Dragon King, the Peony King, and the Willow King all trembled. Their eyes revealed a trace of disbelief. The huge change in the huge black banner caused everyone to become somewhat bewildered. Rumble! The black banner spewed out a blazing light. There was originally a dragon-shaped divine beast imprint on it. At this moment, endless primal chaos chi surged. Vast energy soared, and the dragon-shaped divine beast imprint turned into a primal chaos ancestor dragon that was billions of miles long. It was as if he had awakened from the endless chaos. His body was surrounded by 9-colored divine light, and he exuded a vast dragon's might. An earth-shattering dragon's roar erupted from his mouth. The void trembled, and a mysterious fluctuation spread out in all directions. The dragon's roar made billions of demonic beasts submit. It was like the king of all demonic beasts, exuding an invincible aura of supremacy. The huge black banner shone brightly, and in an instant, its appearance changed. It turned into a huge banner that was 90 feet tall, surrounded by primal chaos chi. It shone with dazzling multicolored light, and thousands of auspicious lights, illuminating the entire palace as if it was daytime. At this moment, the other 9,999 huge banners trembled at the same time, as if they had met their king. They exuded a strange fluctuation. Ling Xiao held the huge black banner in his hand, and he felt a blood connection. His palm seemed to have been pierced by the huge banner, and the primal chaos ancestor dragon's bloodline in his body surged into the huge banner. It made the primal chaos ancestor dragon clearer, and it produced a strange resonance with him. Another dragon's roar came from the huge black banner. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The 999 huge banners in the palace rose from the ground in an instant, turning into streams of light and flying towards the huge black banner in Ling Xiao's hand. Oh no! King Pine Cypress's expression changed, and his eyes became extremely gloomy in an instant. He revealed a monstrous anger, and he directly soared into the sky, trying to snatch the huge black banner in Ling Xiao's hand. Although he did not know what had happened, he vaguely felt that perhaps Ling Xiao had refined the core of the 10,000 demon banner. Otherwise, the tens of thousands of huge banners in the palace would not have such a strange reaction. Hand over the 10,000 demon banner. King Peony and King Willow also shouted. Their eyes were extremely sharp, and they leaped towards Ling Xiao. Rumble! Ling Xiao held the huge black banner in his hand, and the divine light around him was dazzling. Purple chi rose, and he felt that his body was full of explosive power. His aura instantly recovered to its peak. Holding the 10,000 demon banner, Ling Xiao felt as if he had become the emperor of hundreds of millions of demonic beasts, and he could casually kill any demonic beasts who dared to challenge his authority. King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow were no threat to him. So, I have to sacrifice a powerful demon king to awaken the power of the 10,000 demon banner? Ling Xiao thought to himself. After the 10,000 demon banner had swallowed the White Dragon King's blood essence and primordial spirit, Ling Xiao felt that the obscure and obstructive power had disappeared. His primordial spirit controlled the sky-devouring fire, and it had almost naturally refined the core of the 10,000 demon banner. In particular, the ancestral dragon bloodline in Ling Xiao's body seemed to have formed a strange resonance with the chaotic ancestral dragon on the 10,000 demon banner, allowing him to control the huge black banner in an instant. Ha! King Pine Cypress, King Peony, King Willow, you're too late. Ling Xiao laughed loudly. The huge black banner in his hand shook, and in an instant, it was like a huge mountain, pressing down on King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow. The chaotic ancestral dragon on the huge banner let out an earth-shattering dragon roar, as if it had rushed out of the chaos, exuding a terrifying pressure. What? King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow all felt their bodies tremble. There seemed to be an irresistible force pressing down on them from the huge black banner. The three demon kings were swept by the huge black banner, as if they had been struck by lightning. Their bodies trembled violently, and they spat out mouthfuls of blood. Their auras became weak, and they were directly sent flying. The 9,999 giant banners in the palace were like streams of light, returning to the sea and directly merging into the giant black banner in Ling Xiao's hand. Boom! The huge black banner suddenly emitted millions of rays of light, and a vast and mighty emperor's aura gushed out from it. Bookmark for easy reading. Chapter 2672. The vast emperor's aura contained unparalleled origin energy, causing the surrounding void to tremble violently. Even the 10,000 demons' secret trove began to emit a bright light, as if a strange power had awakened. After the 9,999 banners merged, the black banners instantly bloomed with 9-colored light, filled with chaotic light and shrouded in powerful emperor's aura. A blazing light majestically shot into the sky. Ling Xiao, who was holding the black banner, began to emit an explosive aura, as if he had formed a mysterious resonance with the black banner. Similarly, an emperor's aura emanated from his body. So, this is the real 10,000 demons banner? A trace of understanding emerged in Ling Xiao's heart. His gaze also became sharp and resplendent. The huge black banner was the core of the 10,000 demon banner, and the 9,999 huge banners were all transformed from the 10,000 demon banner itself. At that moment, they had fused with the core of the 10,000 demon banner, and the huge black banner had become the true 10,000 demon banner. Originally, it was extremely difficult for Ling Xiao to refine the 10,000 demons banner. It could even be said that it was impossible. Fortunately, he had unleashed a peerless attack and killed the White Dragon King. By chance, the core of the 10,000 demons banner had devoured the White Dragon King's flesh and blood essence, awakening the Emperor's aura. Only then could it merge with the 10,000 demons banner. Even Ling Xiao had not expected this. It had to be said that Ling Xiao was indeed the chosen one. He was indeed blessed. With the 10,000 demons banner in his hand, Ling Xiao's aura became extremely powerful, exuding an invincible aura. Above the 10,000 demons banner, an endless chaotic mist lingered, and the divine light was dazzling. It was as if tens of thousands of divine beasts were roaring in the sky. Archaic mutants, powerful divine beasts, and primordial ferocious beasts seemed to have come alive from the depths of time and space. They circled around Ling Xiao, making him look like the Lord of Demons. No! King Pine Cypress suddenly roared. His voice was filled with unwillingness, anger, and despair. He had planned for thousands of years, consumed countless natural treasures, and paid a great price, all so that he could one day wield the 10,000 demons banner. However, what he did not expect was that in the end, Ling Xiao had actually refined the 10,000 demon banner. He had no way to stop it. The 10,000 demon banner. He actually refined the 10,000 demon banner. Peony King and Willow King's eyes were filled with incomparable shock. They looked at Ling Xiao with incomparably solemn gazes. They could faintly feel that the world was about to change. Although Ling Xiao seemed to only have the cultivation of great sage realm, his strength was unfathomable and unparalleled. Even White Dragon King died in his hands. Now that Ling Xiao wielded the 10,000 demon banner, the aura that radiated from him made them tremble. Unknowingly, a ripple of fear appeared in the depths of their souls. How were they supposed to fight Ling Xiao? Let's go! Peony King looked deeply at Ling Xiao, then made a prompt decision to speak to Willow King. Ling Xiao was already extremely strong. Now that he was in control of the myriad demon banner, he was like a tiger that had grown wings. They no longer had any thoughts of competing with Ling Xiao for the myriad demon banner. At this moment, they only wanted to leave this place as soon as possible. They could sense an extremely dangerous aura from the 10,000 demon banner. Lington, just you wait. King Pine Cypress looked at Ling Xiao with incomparable anger. Seeing that Peony King and Willow King were about to leave, he also had the intention to retreat in his heart. Somewhat unwillingly, he left behind a ruthless sentence. His heart was bleeding. The 10,000 demon banner was already his, but now it was snatched away by Ling Xiao. To him, this was simply a great humiliation. Want to leave? Did I say that you can leave? Ling Xiao sneered coldly. Boom. He waved the 10,000 demon banner in his hand. In an instant, the void trembled and the 10,000 demon secret trove trembled violently. A vast emperor's aura swept across the sky and directly suppressed King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow. The door of the 10,000 demon treasure slammed shut, trapping the three monster kings inside. Ling Tun, how dare you? King Pine Cypress roared furiously. Ling Tian, let us go. We promise that we will never be your enemy again. Peony King and Willow King's faces changed as they hurriedly shouted at Ling Xiao. Rumble. Ling Xiao did not pay any attention to them. The 10,000 demon banner pressed down mightily, containing an emperor's aura that could destroy the world. The three monster kings trembled violently, as if a sense of fear was born from the depths of their souls. They did not dare to have the slightest intention of resisting. The three monster kings felt an unparalleled force pressing down on them. Their bodies trembled violently, and their legs gave way as they knelt in front of Ling Xiao. Their eyes were filled with humiliation. However, the 10,000 demon banner gave them a terrifying feeling. It was as if the 10,000 demon banner could control their life and death at will. It contained a power that made them extremely fearful. It was extremely difficult for them to even stand up. The three monster kings knelt in front of Ling Xiao. Although their eyes were about to spew fire, there was nothing they could do. It seems that the 10,000 demon banner is indeed a treasure that suppresses the fate of the demon realm. It really contains the life imprints of billions of demon clan members. No wonder there is a saying that the owner of the 10,000 demon banner is the Lord of Demons. Ling Xiao smiled faintly as he looked down at the three monster kings in front of him. He did not expect that he would be able to suppress the three monster kings so easily. However, the three monster kings' reactions made him realize that the 10,000 demon banner contained the life imprints of billions of demon clan members. The three monster kings were no exception. Therefore, when they faced the 10,000 demon banner, they were naturally afraid and suppressed by the banner. In addition to the restrictive domain, the 10,000 demon banner's extreme emperor's aura was extremely terrifying. Although they had the strength and cultivation of a monster king, there was nothing they could do. Ling Tian, what are you trying to do? King Pine and Cypress roared in grief and indignation. His face was full of fear. Ling Tian, we have offended you. How can you let us go? King Peony and King Willow laughed bitterly. Now, they had no choice but to lower their heads. Facing Ling Xiao, who held the 10,000 demon banner, even the three monster kings had no choice but to lower their proud heads. I hold the 10,000 demon banner and am the Lord of Demons. You have two choices now. The first is to hand over your primordial spirit imprints and acknowledge me as your master. The second is to die. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. There was a trace of sharp light in his eyes as he stared at the three monster kings in front of him. Hand over my primordial spirit imprints? Impossible. Ling Tian, the winner takes all. I have nothing to say. Kill me. King Pine and Cypress sneered, revealing a look as if he was facing death with equanimity. Ling Tian, you don't have to humiliate us. We have our own dignity. Monster kings cannot be humiliated. King Peony said angrily. So what if we die? Anyway, we have lived for so long. It's enough. King Willow also sneered. It seems that all of you have chosen death? What a pity. I didn't expect that the three monster kings would be completely annihilated today. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, his expression extremely calm. King Pine and Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow's reactions were within Ling Xiao's expectations. After all, these three heavenly venerables were the rulers of the Endless Island. They had their own dignity and bearing. It would not be so easy to make them submit to Ling Xiao. Chapter 2673. Taking a day off for Eternal Emperor, please wait for a moment. After the content is updated, please refresh the page to get the latest update. Chapter 2674. Previously, Ling Xiao held on to the slightest hope that the 4 monster kings would submit to him if he took control of the 10,000 demons banner. However, it seemed that King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow all had their dignity as monster kings. They would rather die than submit to Ling Xiao. Rumble! Blazing divine light rose from Ling Xiao's body, and the 10,000 demons banner in his hand was instantly filled with chaotic mist. It turned into a giant banner that suppressed the 3 monster kings. The eyes of the 3 monster kings were filled with despair. The extreme emperor aura that erupted from the 10,000 demons banner caused the 3 monster kings to tremble. They felt a deep sense of powerlessness. The 10,000 demons banner was like a terrifying chaotic vortex that directly swallowed the 3 monster kings. In an instant, the void trembled, and the lightning was dazzling. The auras of the 3 monster kings seemed to have been completely erased, and they disappeared in front of Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of surprise. He realized that the 3 monster kings did not die immediately after being swallowed by the 10,000 demons banner. Instead, they were affected by the extreme emperor aura of the 10,000 demons banner, and involuntarily revealed their primordial spirit brands and integrated them into the 10,000 demons banner. Boom, boom, boom. The king of pine and cypress turned into a huge pine tree, the king of peony turned into a beautiful peony flower, and the willow king turned into an ancient willow tree. They revealed their true forms in an instant, and their auras gradually merged with the 10,000 demon banner. The primordial spirit brands of the 3 monster kings integrated into the 10,000 demons banner? It seems that they can't die even if they want to. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a strange look. He originally wanted to kill the 3 monster kings with the myriad demon banner, but he did not expect that after the 3 monster kings entered the myriad demon banner, their primordial spirit imprints merged with the myriad demon banner. The 3 monster kings' auras also came from the same source as the myriad demon banner. Under Ling Xiao's guidance, the life and death of the 3 monster kings were completely in his hands. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Above the 10,000 demons banner, a bright light flashed. In an instant, the figures of the 3 demon kings flew out. They looked at Ling Xiao with eyes full of fanaticism and worship. King Pine Cypress greets the demon lord. The Peony King greets the demon lord. Willow King greets the demon lord. The 3 demon kings knelt respectfully in front of Ling Xiao, their eyes filled with fervor. What a terrifying myriad demon banner! Ling Xiao's heart trembled slightly. His eyes were filled with horror. The 3 demon kings had been completely transformed by the myriad demon banner just like that, becoming Ling Xiao's most loyal fanatics. Ling Xiao could clearly sense that there were no changes to their cultivation, souls, or memories. The only thing that had changed was their loyalty to Ling Xiao. Through the 10,000 demon banner, Ling Xiao controlled the 3 demon monarchs' essence soul imprints. He could even sense their thoughts. There was no hatred. There was no greed. There was only fanatical worship for Ling Xiao. It was no wonder that the owner of the myriad demon banner was the lord of myriad demons, the supreme ruler of the demon realm. This function of the myriad demon banner was truly heaven-defying. Pine Cypress King, you weren't willing to submit to me just now, why are you agreeing now? Ling Xiao's expression was calm as he said lightly to Pine Cypress King. Lord Demon Lord, you are the heaven's chosen one, the true Lord of Heaven's mandate. Just now, I had eyes but failed to see an offended master. If you want to punish me, I will not complain. Pine Cypress King said respectfully, his eyes filled with deep awe. Ling Xiao could feel that if he ordered Pine Cypress King to die, Pine Cypress King would not hesitate at all. This was the terror of the myriad demon banner. Very well. Pine Cypress King, Peony King, Willow King, listen up. I order you to subdue everyone in the myriad demon realm and make them submit to me. Those who don't submit, kill without mercy. Ling Xiao said with murderous intent. Yes, sir. Pine Cypress King, Peony King, and Willow King all said respectfully at the same time. Demon Lord, this myriad demon ancient tree has lived for hundreds of millions of years. It is because of the seal of the four of us that it can't transform. Demon Lord, you can refine the essence soul crystal core of the myriad demon ancient tree and completely subdue it. At that time, you will have another peerless demon king under your command. Pine Cypress King said respectfully. The essence soul crystal core of the myriad demon ancient tree? Where is it? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. Pine Cypress King's words made him feel a little excited. This 10,000 Fei ancient tree had lived for hundreds of millions of years. If it could really transform successfully, it would at least be a peerless expert in the Saint King realm. Even the aura of an imperial emperor expert was not as powerful as that of the 10,000 Fei ancient tree. The potential of the myriad demon ancient tree was limitless, far surpassing Pine Cypress King, Peony King, and Willow King. The essence soul crystal core of the myriad demon ancient tree is hidden in the crown of the tree. However, although I have found its whereabouts, I have no way to obtain it. Demon Lord, with the myriad demon banner in your hand, you can definitely refine the essence soul crystal core of the myriad demon ancient tree. Pine Cypress King said respectfully. Very well. Take me to the essence soul crystal core of the myriad demon ancient tree. Ling Xiao said indifferently. Boom. Ling Xiao waved the myriad demon banner in his hand. In an instant, chaotic light filled the air and enveloped the entire myriad demon's secret trove. The huge palace and the Supreme Emperor Ray turned into a stream of light and merged into the myriad demon banner. Ling Xiao only knew that everything in the myriad demon secret trove was a part of the myriad demon banner after refining the myriad demon banner. Especially the Supreme Emperor Array. If activated by the myriad demon banner, it could kill a heavenly venerable expert and even trap an imperial emperor for a period of time. The myriad demon's secret trove flew into the myriad demon banner. Ling Xiao and the three demon kings also appeared on the myriad demon ancient tree. Bai Feng, Demon Ape King, Ba Ji King and the others appeared in front of Ling Xiao and the other three demon kings. Ling Tian, where is my father? Bai Feng and the others were shocked by the disappearance of the myriad demon's secret trove. Before they could react, Ling Xiao appeared in front of them. Bai Feng's eyes were filled with shock as he stared at Ling Xiao and asked, "You mean the White Dragon King? Of course, he's dead by my hands." Ling Xiao said indifferently, "Impossible. My father's combat strength is extraordinary and invincible. Do you think you can kill my father? Ling Tian, if you know what's good for you, kneel down and accept your death. Otherwise, I'll make you beg for death." Bai Feng's face was ferocious as he spoke. "How dare you? How dare you be so rude to the Demon Lord?" King Songbai's eyes flashed and he suddenly roared. Boom. It was as if there was a vast sound wave that contained the power of heaven and earth pressing down on Crown Prince Bai Feng. The aura was extremely sharp. Bai Feng's face changed as he felt an invincible force pressing down on him, causing his primordial spirit to tremble violently. He spat out a mouthful of blood and was directly sent flying. Chapter 2675. What? Everyone was stunned, especially Crown Prince Bai Feng. His eyes were filled with disbelief and fear. He had never imagined that King Pine Cypress would actually attack him, and even repeatedly address Ling Xiao as Lord Demon. Demon Lord, the Lord of all demons? As the son of White Dragon King, Crown Prince Bai Feng naturally knew what this title meant. It meant that Ling Xiao had obtained the inheritance of the demon treasure. Even King Pine Cypress had submitted to Ling Xiao. King Eight Extremities, King Devil Ape, King White Bone, and the others all looked extremely solemn. On the other hand, Kuei was slightly taken aback. Then he was overjoyed. His master was really powerful. Even the Pine and Cypress King was subdued by him. Demon Lord has obtained the inheritance of the demon treasure. He is the Lord of all demons. All demons must submit to Demon Lord. Those who disobey will be killed without mercy. King Pine Cypress stared at Crown Prince Bai Feng and the others and said with murderous intent, "Who dares to disrespect Demon Lord?" King Peony said coldly, White Dragon King offended Demon Lord and was killed by Demon Lord himself. Why don't you come and pay your respects to Demon Lord? King Willow said solemnly. His eyes were filled with fanatical worship. White Dragon King is really dead? Everyone's expression changed, especially Crown Prince Baifeng. His body trembled violently, and his eyes were filled with fear. White Dragon King was so powerful and unfathomable. How could he die in Ling Zhao's hands? Crown Prince Baifeng didn't believe Ling Zhao's words before. However, now that King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow had submitted to Ling Zhao and called him the Lord of all demons, they were absolutely certain that White Dragon King had died in Ling Shi's hands. Crown Prince Baifeng's face was extremely pale. In an instant, light flashed around him and he was about to use a teleportation technique to leave this place. He was completely afraid of Ling Zhao. At this moment, he didn't care about revenge. He just wanted to leave this place as soon as possible. Boom. However, the space around Crown Prince Baifeng seemed to distort instantly. Streams of mysterious air currents flowed like a spatial cage, trapping Crown Prince Baifeng within. There was no way for him to escape. Eight Extremities King, you dare betray me? Crown Prince Baifeng roared, his eyes filled with disbelief. It was the Eight Extremities King who had used his spatial powers to imprison Crown Prince Baifeng. He didn't even need Ling Zhao or the three Fey monarchs to do anything. After Baji King trapped Baifeng, he looked calm and indifferent. He didn't even look at Prince Baifeng. Instead, he bowed respectfully to Ling Zhao. Greetings, Demon Lord. The Eight Pole King's voice was solemn and fanatical. The expressions of the demonic Ape King, White Bone King, and Black Tiger King changed. When they saw Ling Zhao looking at them, they trembled and knelt down respectfully as well. Greetings, Demon Lord. Congratulations, Demon Lord. May you live a long and boundless life. May you unite the demon world and shock the heavens. The Kuei Cow also bowed shamelessly. There was a flattering smile on his face. His mouth was almost crooked from smiling. In his opinion, he was the first to submit to Ling Zhao. He was even earlier than the three Fey monarchs. He was the Demon Lord's confidant. However, he was also secretly vigilant. The three Fey monarchs were very powerful. Moreover, they seemed to be extremely fanatical about his master. He felt threatened. It seemed like he had to work harder for his master in the future to maintain his position. Those who are willing to submit to me, don't resist. Those who are unwilling to submit, I won't stop you. You may leave now. Ling Zhao said indifferently. Seeing that no one was leaving, Ling Zhao waved the 10,000 demon banner in his hand. Instantly, chaotic light appeared, lightning blazed, and the great Tao Law rose and enveloped everyone. The reason why the 10,000 demon banner was known as the treasure of fortune of the demon realm was because it contained the life imprints of billions of demon clan members. Therefore, the person who wielded the 10,000 demon banner was the master of the demon realm. No expert of the demon clan could resist the master of the 10,000 demon banner. Although the Baji King, the Devil Ape King, and the others had powerful bloodlines, they were still experts of the demon race. When they were swept by the 10,000 demon banner, their life imprints in the 10,000 demon banner were activated. Almost instantly, their primordial spirit imprints were left in the 10,000 demon banner. From then on, their lives were in Ling Zhao's hands. Since the Crown Prince Baifeng wanted to resist the 10,000 demon banner, Ling Zhao did not show any mercy and killed him directly. The Crown Prince Baifeng's flesh and primordial spirit became the best nourishment for the 10,000 demon banner. Soon, the Baji King, the Devil Ape King, and the others looked at Ling Zhao with fanatical admiration. Rumble. At this moment, the 10,000 demon ancient tree suddenly began to tremble violently. Vast origin energy surged and swept in all directions like a storm. Oh no! Demon Lord, the White Dragon King has been killed by you. The seal of the 10,000 demon ancient tree has been damaged. The 10,000 demon ancient tree wants to transform. King Pine Cypress's expression changed as he hurriedly said to Ling Zhao. Quickly bring me to the primordial spirit crystal core of the 10,000 demon ancient tree. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he said slowly. Demon Lord, Please come with me. King Pine Cypress bowed and said. Then, he turned into a stream of light and flew toward the crown of the 10,000 demon ancient tree. Whoosh! Whoosh! Ling Xiao and King Pine Cypress were extremely fast. Soon, they arrived at the depths of the crown of the 10,000 demon ancient tree. Endless blazing light flickered and vast origin energy surged like the sea. It seemed to have formed an origin energy sea above the crown of the 10,000 demon ancient tree. In the center of the origin energy sea, there was a dazzling crystal. It was flowing with colorful light and crystal clear. At this moment, it was slowly transforming into a human form. Previously, with the seal of the 4 demon monarchs, the 10,000 demonic ancient tree could not transform at all. However, after the White Dragon King was killed by Ling Xiao, there was a flaw in the seal. The 10,000 demonic ancient tree used this opportunity to transform. Rumble. As if sensing the approach of Ling Xiao and King Pine Cypress, the origin energy sea in front of them began to riot. Blazing light intertwined and turned into mysterious runes. They intertwined into a terrifying killing force that surged toward Ling Xiao and King Pine Cypress. Demon Lord, that crystal is the primordial spirit crystal core of the 10,000 demon ancient tree. The transformation of the 10,000 demon ancient tree cannot be stopped. However, as long as you leave a mark on the primordial spirit crystal core and refine it with the 10,000 demon banner, the 10,000 demon ancient tree will submit to you. King Pine Cypress said quickly. Okay. Ling Xiao's eyes were extremely sharp. In an instant, blazing purple gas surged around his body. He rushed toward the primordial spirit crystal core in the origin energy sea like a lightning bolt. Rumble. The terrifying attacks from all directions landed on Ling Xiao's body, drowning him in the blink of an eye. Mobile version reading website Thim. Chapter 2676. Rumble. The attack from the origin source sea was comparable to the power of a heavenly master. It was so terrifying that it seemed to be able to turn everything into dust. After Ling Xiao was submerged, his body instantly emitted a dazzling glow. Purple gas rose and spread across 30,000 miles, causing the surrounding void to vibrate violently. The attacks from the origin source sea were instantly shattered. Ling Xiao was like a bolt of lightning. He was extremely fast and arrived in front of the crystal in an instant. The primordial spirit crystal core of the ancient tree of 10,000 Fei looked dazzling and translucent. It was currently transforming into a human form. Ling Xiao could even see mysterious meridians forming within the crystal. Blood vessels, bones, meridians, and organs were gradually forming. This was the transformation process of the demonic ancient tree. Once this process was completed, no one would be able to stop the transformation of the demonic ancient tree. The reason why the 4 monster kings were able to stop the demonic ancient tree from transforming was that they had sealed the primordial spirit crystal core of the demonic ancient tree, not giving it a chance to transform. Could it be that the 10,000 demon banner is prepared for the demonic ancient tree? Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a strange look. He felt as if he had stolen the 10,000 demon banner of the demonic ancient tree. Ling Xiao's arrival seemed to have made the primordial spirit crystal core of the demonic ancient tree feel greatly threatened. In an instant, a fierce battle broke out. Terrifying divine order chains intertwined and shrouded Ling Xiao. Boom! The 10,000 demon banner emitted a dazzling glow. It was surrounded by chaotic gas and instantly appeared in Ling Xiao's palm. A vast emperor's aura gushed out, and the divine chains of order shattered instantly, unable to cause any harm to Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao waved the 10,000 demon banner in his hand. Instantly, chaotic light shrouded the primordial spirit crystal core of the demonic ancient tree. It seemed as if yin and yang qi were emitted. Although the crystal in front of him had not completely transformed into a human, it seemed to have gained some intelligence. It was actually emitting waves of incomparable anger. Its entire body trembled violently as it tried to break free from the range of the 10,000 demon banner. However, it was meaningless. Even if the demonic ancient tree had transformed, It would not be able to escape from the 10,000 demon banner. Dazzling lightning bolts seemed to rise, and blazing divine light gushed out from the primordial spirit crystal core. The 10,000 demon banner shone brightly, and a giant tree that connected the sky and the earth vaguely appeared. Countless ancient divine beasts were resting on it, and it contained an incomparably majestic life force. That was the mark of life of the 10,000 Fey ancient tree. Even the 10,000 Fey ancient tree could not escape the control of the 10,000 Fey banner. In the end, it left its primordial spirit imprint on the 10,000 Fey banner. Very soon, the primordial spirit crystal core of the ancient tree of demons calmed down and emitted a very intimate ripple, as if it was connected by blood. It was extremely attached to Ling Xiao. I wonder who refined this myriad demon banner. In the demon realm, I'm afraid there isn't a single supreme emperor weapon that is comparable to the myriad demon banner. Ling Xiao exclaimed in admiration, his eyes filled with disbelief. The 10,000 demon banner had the mark of life of billions of living beings in the demon realm. The living beings in the demon realm had no way of escaping from the 10,000 demon banner's control. Even the 10,000 Fey ancient tree was not surprised. Sensing the mark of the 10,000 Fey ancient tree's primordial spirit in the 10,000 demon banner, Ling Xiao put away the 10,000 demon banner and quietly looked at the primordial spirit crystal core in front of him. Rumble. The speed of the transformation of the 10,000 Fey ancient tree's primordial spirit crystal core increased by 10 times, and it began to transform into the shape of a human at a speed visible to the naked eye. The entire 10,000 Fey ancient tree was trembling violently. In an instant, endless blazing light gushed out, and all of it merged with the primordial spirit crystal core in front of him. In front of Ling Xiao, chaotic light rose, and the origin source sea spread out. The 9-colored divine light shrouded the area, and the primordial spirit crystal core and the 10,000 Fey ancient tree completely merged together. The million-mile-tall 10,000 Fey ancient tree completely disappeared, leaving only a figure in front of Ling Xiao. In the chaotic mist, the figure slowly walked toward Ling Xiao. It was a peerlessly beautiful woman wearing a 9-colored feather robe. She looked extremely perfect, as though she had been created and sculpted by heaven and earth. There was not a single flaw on her face. She had a small cherry mouth, a jade-like nose, and big watery eyes that seemed to be filled with all kinds of charm. They also seemed to be able to penetrate the endless space and time, deep and mysterious. Her figure was extremely hot, and her skin was as white as jade. Under her slender thighs was a pair of delicate and perfect feet that were like pearls. They were hidden under a light veil, mysterious and unfathomable. "Greetings, Demon Lord." The woman bowed to Ling Xiao, and the corners of her mouth curled up slightly, revealing a beautiful smile. "You are the 10,000 Fey ancient tree?" Ling Xiao looked at the woman in front of him, and for a moment he could not recover his senses. After all, the 10,000 Fey ancient tree had lived for hundreds of millions of years. Ling Xiao thought that the 10,000 Fey ancient tree would transform into an old man with white hair and beard. He did not expect it to be such a young and beautiful woman. "That's right. Demon Lord, I am the 10,000 Fey ancient tree, but I have my own name. You can call me Enai Shang." The woman said with a smile. "Enai Shang? Good name." Ling Xiao nodded and said, "Demon Lord, I originally thought that Enai Shang would be the master of all demons and wield the 10,000 demon banner. I did not expect the 10,000 demon banner to fall into your hands. Even the White Dragon King died in your hands, and the 3 demon kings all submitted to you. You are indeed destined." Enai Shang said with a smile. "You know all of this?" Ling Xiao's expression was a little strange. Could it be that it was as he had guessed? The 10,000 demon banner was prepared for the 10,000 Fey ancient tree? Moreover, Enai Shang was very clear that the White Dragon King had died in Ling Xiao's hands. It seemed that although she had just transformed, she was actually very clear about what had happened in the outside world. "That's right. Demon Lord, although Enai Shang has just transformed, I am very clear about what has happened in the 1,000 Demon City all these years. After all, if not for the 4 demon kings, I might have transformed long ago. I can sense the providence of the heavenly Tao from you. You should be the chosen one of this epoch, right? Enai Shang nodded and looked at Ling Xiao curiously at the same time. That's right. I am Ling Xiao, the chosen one of this era. Ling Xiao nodded and said. His heart skipped a beat. Although Enai Shang was very close to him, she did not worship him fervently like the 3 demon kings. Instead, she was like a close friend, and he had a good impression of her. Demon Lord, you stole my 10,000 demon banner, and I should kill you. However, you left my primordial spirit imprint on the 10,000 demon banner. Therefore, to me, you are like a father and mother. I can't hurt you, so you don't have to worry. Enai Shang seemed to have seen through Ling Xiao's thoughts and said with a smile. Chapter 2677. Enai Shang's cultivation was also at the Saint King realm. She should have reached the heavenly venerate realm, but her aura was even more terrifying than King Pine and Cypress. Ling Xiao felt that it would not be easy for King Pine and Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow to break through to the Emperor realm. However, Enai Shang might be able to take that step very soon. After all, Enai Shang's original form was the 10,000 Fei ancient tree. It was extremely difficult for an innate spirit to transform. Once she transformed, coupled with her terrifying talent, her cultivation would definitely improve by leaps and bounds. Let's go! Ling Xiao left with Enai Shang. The 10,000 Fei ancient tree was 1,000,000 feet tall. It stood in the middle of this world like a divine mountain. The commotion caused by the 10,000 Fei ancient tree's transformation was extremely terrifying. It instantly alarmed all the demon race experts. Regardless of whether it was the demon kings or demon saints, they were all shocked as they stared at the center of the world. The chaotic fog lingered there and the divine light was dazzling. They did not know what had happened. However, the 10,000 Fei ancient tree had indeed disappeared. The old goat and Taoist Wuliang had gathered hundreds of demon kings and thousands of demon saints under their command. It could be said that they had swept through the world and snatched a large number of treasures. Just as the old goat and Taoist Wuliang were feeling smug, the 10,000 Fei ancient tree had disappeared. Old Taoist, why do I feel that the disappearance of the 10,000 Fei ancient tree has something to do with Ling Xiao? The old goat's eyes revealed a trace of suspicion. It's possible. Taoist Wuliang thought for a while and nodded in agreement. Both of them felt that only Ling Xiao could cause such a huge commotion. We have a great harvest this time. Hee, I didn't expect to find another type of extreme Tao metal here. Once we leave this place, we'll be able to refine our life treasure. When we become emperors, it'll be the strongest extreme Tao emperor weapon. The old goat's eyes were filled with excitement. That's right. Our harvest is almost there. Let's go over there and take a look. Ling Xiao might be there. Taoist Wuliang said slowly as he looked at the place where the 10,000 Fei ancient tree had disappeared. All right. The old goat nodded. Then, together with Taoist Wuliang, they led a group of demon kings and demon saints towards the central region. At the same time, 3 vast and powerful voices resounded in this world. I am King Pine and Cypress, the demon king under the Lord of Infinite Demons. Everyone, come and pay your respects to the Lord of Infinite Demons. Those who disobey will be killed without mercy. I am the Peony King, the demon king under the Lord of Infinite Demons. Everyone, come and pay your respects to the Lord of Infinite Demons. Those who disobey will be killed without mercy. I am Willow King, the demon king under the Lord of Infinite Demons. Everyone, come and pay your respects to the Lord of Infinite Demons. Those who disobey will be killed without mercy. The 3 voices were like the might of the heavens as they rumbled through the void, causing everyone to tremble. Their eyes were filled with disbelief and shock. Who is the Lord of Infinite Demons? He actually made King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow submit to him? Someone said with a trembling voice. Lord Demon Lord, do you want to unify the Endless Islands? This is too terrifying. What should we do? What else can we do? Even Pine and Cypress King, Peony King, and Willow King have submitted. If we don't submit, I'm afraid we'll die instantly. Let's go and pay our respects to the Demon Lord. I really want to see who this Demon Lord is. Many Demon Clan experts discussed animatedly. Their eyes were filled with uncertainty, but they still leaped up and flew toward the central area where the ancient tree of infinite demons was. What? Don't tell me the king of demons is Ling Xiao? Taoist Wu Yang and the old goat also heard about the three figures. They looked at each other and their eyes revealed an extremely strange expression. I think it's very possible. Let's go and take a look. Ling Xiao must have obtained some great opportunity to make the three demon kings submit to him. The old goat said excitedly. His eyes were filled with curiosity. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Everyone who heard the voices of the three demon kings leaped up and flew toward the central area. Ling Xiao stood in the air in the central area. His clothes were whiter than snow, and his temperament was ethereal. He held the black infinite demon banner in his hand. Purple gas lingered around him, and chaotic light filled the air. He was like an immortal emperor, extremely mysterious. Behind him stood Enai Shang, King Pine Cypress, King Peony, and King Willow. The eyes of the three demon kings were filled with fanatical worship and respect. Enai Shang also made the three of them tremble. Her aura was too terrifying, and even King Pine Cypress felt a great threat. Soon, many demon kings and demon overlords arrived. It's him? The Ling Tian who defeated the Eight-Pole King? He can't be the Lord of Infinite Demons, right? When someone saw Ling Xiao, his heart couldn't help but tremble as he spoke in disbelief. Everyone was extremely shocked. Regardless of whether they knew Ling Xiao or not, they could see that Ling Xiao's cultivation was only at the Great Saint Realm. However, the three demon kings were extremely respectful to him. Although they did not dare to believe it, they knew that Ling Xiao was most likely the demon lord. Ling Xiao, you actually became the Lord of Infinite Demons? The old goat and Taoist Wu Yang also flew over in surprise and asked Ling Xiao curiously, "Do you recognize this item?" Ling Xiao said with a smile, "This is the legendary 10,000 Demons banner." The old goat saw the huge black banner in Ling Xiao's hand and was a little confused at first. However, he suddenly thought of something and could not help but tremble. 10,000 Demons banner? The 10,000 Demons banner that is said to be the treasure of fate in the demon realm, the strongest supreme emperor weapon? Taoist Wu Yang sucked in a breath of cold air. That's right. It's the treasure of fate, the 10,000 Demons banner. Now that the 10,000 Demons banner has recognized me as its master, I'm the Lord of Infinite Demons. I've already killed the White Dragon King and the three demon kings have submitted to me. She's Enai Shang, the 10,000 Demons ancient tree's transformation. Ling Xiao smiled and told the old goat and Taoist Wu Yang what had happened through telepathy. The old goat and Taoist Wu Yang were stunned. The two of them had gathered hundreds of demon kings and thousands of demon sages. They thought that they had obtained countless treasures this time, and it was already a great harvest. However, they did not expect Ling Xiao to be so lucky as to obtain the 10,000 Demons banner. Does this mean that you can control all the Demon Clan experts on the Endless Island with the 10,000 Demons banner? The old goat suddenly said excitedly. This way, Ling Xiao would have a group of supreme experts under his command. Although the Endless Island was a forgotten world, there were hundreds of Saint King Realm experts and tens of thousands of Saint Realm experts. If Ling Xiao had control of this powerful force, it would be a piece of cake for him to kill his way back to the divine world. That's right. With them, I'll be able to kill my way back to the divine world very soon. Ling Xiao smiled faintly and there was a bright gleam in his eyes. Please remember the domain name of this book. Third Sect Leader's mobile reading website. Chapter 2678. White Dragon King had died in Ling Xiao's hands, but Myriad Demon's ancient tree had transformed into Enai Shang and Ling Xiao still had 4 Monster King experts under him. In addition, Ling Xiao had the Myriad Demon's banner and no one dared to resist. They left their primordial spirit imprints in the myriad demons banner and paid their respects to the Lord of Demons. Ling Xiao brought everyone out of Myriad Demons realm and returned to Myriad Demons City. The Myriad Demons Conference had attracted a few hundred monster kings from the entire Boundless Island. Most of the experts were in Myriad Demons City. In the end, the few hundred monster kings and tens of thousands of monster sages submitted to Ling Xiao. With the Myriad Demons banner, Ling Xiao was not worried that they would betray him. Ling Xiao imparted some powerful super skills to the 4 monster kings. After they cultivated them, they imparted them to the experts of the demon tribe. Although the monster kings and monster sages in Boundless Island had powerful cultivation, their combat strength was still too weak. This was mainly because they did not have powerful inheritances. With the super skills that Ling Xiao imparted to them, their combat strength would increase significantly in no time. It's time to return to the dragon tribe. Ling Xiao muttered to himself. He had gained a lot this time. Not only had he obtained the Myriad Demons banner, but he had also subdued many experts of the demon tribe in Boundless Island. When they grew up, they would definitely give Ling Xiao a huge surprise. Ling Xiao had decided that he would return to the divine world after the untainted mystery land opened. Enai Shang, Cypress King, Peony King, and Willow King. The 4 of you will be in charge of Myriad Demons City in the future. I hope that you will cultivate well. I will need you soon. Ling Xiao looked at Enai Shang and the other 3 behind him and said slowly, Lord of Demons, don't worry. We will not let you down the next time we meet. Enai Shang smiled. All right. Ling Xiao nodded. Then, a dazzling light flashed between his eyebrows. In an instant, a heavenly might appeared like a prison monument. It directly emitted a powerful spatial power, breaking through the void and creating a powerful spatial tunnel. Even though the space here was incomparably sturdy and was surrounded by the Nirvana Ocean, even the 4 demon kings had no way of leaving. However, Ling Xiao had already left the spatial coordinates at the 1,000 Demons Sacred Mountain. With the Heaven's Might, he didn't even need to cross the Nirvana Ocean and could directly open a spatial tunnel. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Ling Xiao took the old goat and Taoist Wuliang and turned into 3 streams of light. They shot into the space tunnel and soon disappeared. 10,000 Dragons Sacred Mountain. After an unknown amount of time, Ling Xiao, the old goat, and Taoist Wuliang walked out of the void. In front of them was the familiar 10,000 Dragons Sacred Mountain, the ancestral land of the Dragon Clan. Cousin, you're finally back. A cheerful and excited voice sounded. Long Outyin and Long Xiaoxiao sensed Ling Xiao's aura and came out from the Myriad Dragon Heavenly Palace to welcome him. Their eyes were filled with joy. Complete Sage Stage. He has already stabilized his cultivation. He's only 1 step away from breaking through to Great Sage Stage. Not bad. Not bad. Ling Xiao looked at Long Outyin and revealed a satisfied smile. Long Outyin had received the ancestral dragon's blessing during the Dragon King enthronement ceremony. His cultivation base had improved by leaps and bounds. He had risen from the beginning stage of the Sage Realm to the Great Perfection stage of the Sage Realm. It was inevitable that his foundation would be unstable at such a fast speed. However, Ling Xiao discovered that Long Outyin had already stabilized his cultivation at the Great Perfection Sage Realm. Moreover, he would be able to make a breakthrough soon. Cousin, the untainted secret land has opened. The young clan leaders of the other 4 great sacred clans have all entered the untainted secret land. Now, only my dragon tribe is left. Long Outyin said. The untainted secret land has opened so soon? Ling Xiao was a little surprised. He had thought that the untainted secret land would still take some time before it opened. After all, the other 4 great sacred clans had just obtained the origin secret skill from him. That's right. Senior Gu Daoyi and the 4 old ancestors of the other 4 great sacred clans have met. They have joined forces to open the seal and the untainted secret land. Bai Hansong and Huang Ju have already entered the untainted secret land. However, the commotion caused by the opening of the untainted secret land this time was too great. Senior Gu Daoyi said that he was afraid that someone else had discovered the untainted secret land and would enter it. He asked us to be careful. Long Outyin said slowly. Long Outyin had wanted to enter the untainted secret land as soon as possible. However, he suppressed his curiosity. After all, the trial in the untainted secret land this time concerned the overlords of the 5 great sacred clans. Long Outyin felt that it would be better to have Ling Xiao with him. Untainted secret land? That's a good place. Long Outyin, have you decided who you want to bring into the untainted secret land? The old goat's eyes lit up as he asked Long Outyin. I have decided. The untainted secret land is full of dangers. It might not be a good thing for too many people to enter. Instead, it would distract us. The little princess, my cousin, and I would like to bring brother Old Goat and brother Wuliang with us. Only then will I be at ease. Long Outyin said with a smile. You do have a conscience. The untainted secret land of the 5 great sacred clans. I have been wanting to see it for a long time. The old goat instantly beamed with joy. Where is the entrance to the untainted secret land? Do we have to go through Archosaur Star? Ling Xiao asked. That's right. We can only reach the safe place in the untainted secret land through Archosaur Star. Otherwise, the untainted secret land will be full of dangers. I'm afraid that it will be difficult for us to deal with them. Long Outyin said as he nodded. Brother Ling Xiao, I believe that you will be able to subdue the people from the 4 great sacred clans and allow the dragon tribe to control the 5 great sacred clans. Long Xiao said with a smile. She looked at Ling Xiao with eyes full of admiration. Xiao, I will definitely be the one to subdue the people from the 4 great sacred clans. Bai Hansong and Huang Ju will be defeated by me. Just wait for me to become the leader of the 5 great sacred clans and marry you. Long Outyin said with a smile. Marry you? A strange look appeared in Ling Xiao's eyes. Bastard, don't talk nonsense. Long Xiao's face instantly turned red, looking like a shy little girl. How am I talking nonsense? Cousin, Xiao has promised me that she will marry me if I can subdue the people from the 4 great sacred clans and make the dragon tribe the leader of the 5 great sacred clans. Long Outyin chuckled and said proudly. You wish, brat. The little princess is an outstanding beauty with peerless talent. You must have saved the heavens in your previous life to have such good luck. The old goat said with a smile. That's right. I have saved the universe more than once. You are lucky. Taoist Wuliang nodded his head in agreement. I am not going to talk to you anymore. Long Xiao blushed and stomped her feet. She then turned around and ran away. Ling Xiao, the old goat, and Taoist Wuliang looked at each other and burst out laughing. This was really something to be happy about. Chapter 2679. In the boundless chaotic void, a terrifying giant beast that was hundreds of millions of miles long was lying dormant in the chaos. Every time it breathed, there would be terrifying lightning as though it was going to destroy the world. 3 figures with powerful auras stood respectfully in front of the giant beast. Their eyes were filled with fanaticism and worship. The 5 sacred tribes have opened the Eldritch Mystery Land again. The most important fragment of the Eldritch Land has appeared. The great trial of the era is coming and all the worlds are merging. No one can stop it. The cold voice boomed in the chaos like thunder, and it even set off a terrifying storm. Your Majesty, this is the best opportunity for us to unify the monster world. As long as we get the Eldritch Mystery Land, we will be able to defeat the 5 sacred tribes. By then, you will be invincible in the monster world. One of the figures said respectfully. That's right. The Eldritch Mystery Land must be in my hands. It is the foundation of my future path. I will think of a way to send the 3 of you into the Eldritch Mystery Land. This time, Ling Xiao, the chosen one, will definitely enter the Eldritch Mystery Land. Find a chance to kill Ling Xiao and bring back the Heavenway fate from him. Kill the heirs of the 5 sacred tribes and find out the secret of the Eldritch Mystery Land. Do you understand? The giant beast opened its eyes suddenly. Its crimson eyes were filled with killing intent, and they were as dazzling as the sun. Your Majesty! The 3 figures replied at the same time. Rumble! The giant beast was surrounded by chaotic light. In an instant, the void in front of it shattered. The chaotic light and the lightning intertwined and formed a huge, eerie maelstrom. It was like a void tunnel that led to a foreign world. The three figures bowed to the giant beast respectfully. Then they turned into three streaks of flowing light and shot into the huge maelstrom. They disappeared completely. Ling Xiao came to Archosaur Star again. Archosaur Star still looked ancient and mysterious. It exuded a barbaric aura. The Archosaur Mountain at the center of the star towered into the clouds. However, there was a huge void tunnel at the peak of Archosaur Mountain. Gu Daoyi sat cross-legged at the peak of Archosaur Mountain. He exuded an ethereal and mysterious aura as though he had become one with Archosaur Mountain. He was activating the power of the array to maintain the void tunnel. Ling Xiao, you're here. After sensing the auras of Ling Xiao and the others, Gu Daoyi slowly opened his eyes. His gaze was filled with vicissitudes and wisdom. Senior Gu, is this the passageway to the great desolate mystic realm? Ling Xiao asked. That's right. It is this passageway. The primitive secret realm is a fragment of the primitive continent. It is strange, and it is not inferior to a great thousand world. It contains many dangers. You must be careful when you enter it, Gu Daoyi exhorted. Don't worry, Senior Gu. I'll definitely subdue the other 4 sacred clans and become the leader of the 5 sacred clans. Long Outyen said confidently. I'm not worried about the other 4 sacred clans. Although you all compete with each other, you're all of the same spirit and branch, so you won't be too ruthless. However, you have to pay attention to the others, especially the natives of the prehistoric mystic realm. I vaguely feel that perhaps an imperial emperor has been born in the prehistoric mystic realm. Gu Daoyi looked at the huge vortex in the sky. His gaze seemed to be able to see through everything as he sighed softly. Emperor? Ling Xiao and the others looked at each other. They couldn't help but tremble, and a hint of seriousness appeared in their eyes. If there was really an imperial emperor in the prehistoric mystic realm, then they would indeed be in great danger. Gu Daoyi and the elders of the other 4 sacred clans had opened the prehistoric mystic realm together. Although they couldn't enter, their perception of the prehistoric mystic realm shouldn't be wrong. The prehistoric mystic realm is filled with too many unknown secrets. Even the 5 sacred clans can't be completely clear about it. I hope that your trip will be smooth, Gu Daoyi said slowly to Ling Xiao and the others. Thank you, Senior Gu Daoyi. Ling Xiao nodded and said, since there might be an imperial emperor in the prehistoric mystic realm, then they couldn't be too conspicuous. It was better to be careful. Moreover, the other 4 sacred clans had already entered. They must have a certain understanding of the current situation in the prehistoric mystic realm. At the crucial moment, they still had to cooperate with them. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Ling Xiao and the others instantly leaped up and turned into streaks of light that shot into the void passageway. Rumble. The surrounding space distorted, and all they could see were resplendent lights and mysterious runes. In just an instant, all the phenomena disappeared, and Ling Xiao's group of 5 appeared in an unfamiliar world. There are indeed outsiders. Capture them all. A cold female voice rang in the ears of Ling Xiao and the others. In an instant, powerful auras rose from the surroundings, controlling a huge golden net to descend from the sky, enveloping Ling Xiao and the other 4 within it. Ling Xiao didn't even have time to observe the prehistoric mystic realm. Who would have thought that they would be ambushed? Boom. Ling Xiao did not even think about it. Purple gas rose from his palm, and in an instant he grabbed hold of the giant golden net. Divine power gushed out from his body, and with a sudden rip, he tore the giant net apart. Who are you people? A sharp light flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes as he stared at the woman before him. The place where they appeared was a huge 5-colored altar. It was built with strange ores and emitted 5-colored divine light. It looked mysterious and brilliant. It was surrounded by mountains and they were in a valley. Standing in front of Ling Xiao was a graceful woman in purple armor. She was tall and slender, with long, wavy purple hair. Her skin was as white as jade, and her figure was extremely hot. She held a golden battle bow in her hand and exuded an extremely powerful aura. She looked cold and arrogant. There was a crescent moon mark in between her eyebrows, which made her look mysterious and noble. She looked at Ling Xiao and the others with hostility. There were hundreds of powerful warriors with spears in their hands. They were all in purple armor and they were surrounded by a murderous aura. The spears in their hands were locked on Ling Xiao and the others as if they were going to kill them at any time. Purple Moon Holy Tribe? How dare you behave atrociously at the five-colored altar of the Dragon Tribe? Long Outyen said as he stared at the woman in front of him. The altar was not only the passageway to the prehistoric mystic realm from Archosaur Star, but it was also the symbol of the Dragon Tribe. Even the natives of the prehistoric mystic realm didn't dare to come here. Long Outyen was shocked and angry. They had just entered the prehistoric mystic realm and they were surrounded by people who wanted to capture them alive. Dragon Tribe? You're just a group of shameless outsiders. Quickly surrender, or we'll kill you without mercy. The woman in purple armor said coldly. Her eyes were filled with disdain. Chapter 2680. The Purple Moon Divine Clan was once protected by the Dragon Clan. Even if you don't guard the five-colored altar for the Dragon Clan, you should mind your own business, right? Is this your own idea, or is it the opinion of the Purple Moon Divine Clan? Ling Xiao looked at the purple-haired woman in front of him and said indifferently. Although the untainted Mystery Land was extremely mysterious and had not been opened for hundreds of millions of years, the Dragon Clan still had some records about it, including the native forces, ferocious birds and beasts, natural treasures, treasure lands, and dangerous places in the untainted Mystery Land. Long Outyen had already told Ling Xiao all of this through voice transmission. The purple-haired woman's cultivation was extraordinary. She had already reached the pinnacle of the Saint King realm. The hundreds of warriors around her were all filled with Saint aura. They were all above the Saint realm. There were even more than a dozen great saints. They could be considered an extremely powerful force. Ling Xiao was also very curious as to why the Purple Moon Divine Clan was so hostile to them. The Dragon Clan? The Dragon Clan hasn't appeared for hundreds of millions of years. Who knows if you're pretending? So what if it's my own idea? So what if it's the Purple Moon Divine Clan's idea? The purple-haired woman's face was extremely cold as she stared at Ling Xiao and said coldly. She was also extremely shocked. The giant golden net was formed by many warriors of the Purple Moon Divine Clan using their magical powers. Even a Saint King would not be able to break it. However, Ling Xiao, who seemed to only have the cultivation of the Great Saint Realm, had torn it apart easily. This was an extremely powerful outsider. If it's your own idea, as an offense to the Dragon Clan, I'll teach you a lesson. But if it's the Purple Moon Divine Clan's idea, it means war. The Purple Moon Divine Clan will be the enemy of the Dragon Clan. When facing an enemy, we must kill them all. Ling Xiao sneered. His eyes shone with a sharp light, giving off an incomparably dignified aura. This caused the purple-haired woman's expression to change involuntarily. In an instant, the purple-haired woman felt as if a divine dragon had come to her face, exuding an unparalleled dragon's aura. Are you really from the Dragon Clan? After hearing Ling Xiao's words, the purple-haired woman was extremely angry, but there was also a trace of suspicion in her eyes. I'm Long Outyen, the current Dragon King of the Dragon Clan. Long Outyen took a step forward, and the vast ancestral dragon bloodline around him instantly gushed out like a sun, blazing light that illuminated everything. The dragon's roar shook the air. In an instant, boundless vital energy surged. A mighty nine-colored dragon coiled around Long Outyen, giving him an indescribable sense of majesty. Rumble! At this moment, the five-colored altar under Ling Xiao and the others seemed to have sensed the ancestral dragon bloodline in Long Outyen's body. It trembled slightly and emitted a five-colored divine light that shot into the sky like a heavenly pillar. Bathing in the mighty five-colored divine light, Long Outyen looked like a primordial ancestral dragon descending to the world, making people want to kneel down and worship him. The current dragon monarch of the dragon race? The purple-haired woman's expression changed, and her gaze became complicated. Bush, bush, bush. At this moment, as if they had sensed the powerful aura erupting from the five-colored altar, several powerful figures flew over from afar. Zining, do not be rude to our esteemed guest. An old voice rang out in the air. The few figures instantly appeared in front of Ling Xiao and the others. There were 3 figures in purple robes. 2 of them were elders in purple robes, and 1 was a young man in purple robes. They had the mark of a purple crescent moon between their eyebrows. All of them were from the Purple Moon Divine clan. The 2 elders in purple robes looked similar, as if they were twin brothers. They had a ruddy complexion and white hair. Their faces were majestic, and their auras were unfathomable. The young man in purple robes was slender, and his face was like jade. He looked handsome and elegant, with a faint smile at the corner of his mouth. His temperament was very gentle. But for some reason, Ling Xiao felt a strong sense of enmity from the young man in purple robes. Enmity towards the 5 of them. Second elder, third elder, senior brother Zijian, why are you here? Zining's expression changed slightly, and she said with an unnatural expression. Speaking of which, she had secretly brought the warriors of the Purple Moon God clan here this time because she wanted to capture a few outsiders to vent her anger. Why are we here? Zining, you are getting bolder and bolder. Without the permission of the Elders' Council, you actually brought the purple spirit guards to the 5-colored altar. What are you trying to do? Do you still have the Elders' Council in your eyes? If we hadn't come quickly, you would have caused a disaster. The second elder, Zihe, said with a glare. The third elder, Zichuan, quickly walked towards Ling Xiao and the others. His gaze fell on Long Outyen, and he said with a smile, "Are you the distinguished guests of the Dragon Clan? I'm sorry, but Zining was insensible and almost offended you all." After hearing Zihe and Zichuan's words, Ling Xiao also understood that it was Zining who had secretly attacked them. It was not the attitude of the Purple Moon Divine clan. This way, the situation had not reached the point of no return. Elders, how would I know that they were from the Dragon Clan? The Dragon Clan has disappeared for hundreds of millions of years. I just wanted to capture a few outsiders to avenge my grandfather. Zining said with a bitter smile. Junior sister Ning, you were too rash this time. Those outsiders are despicable and shameless and deserve to die. However, these are the distinguished guests of the Dragon Clan, the distinguished guests of the Purple Moon Divine clan. Quickly apologize to them. Zijian, who was as handsome as jade, said to Zining, with a serious look in his eyes. Distinguished guests, Ning has been rude. Please forgive me. Zining seemed to be very afraid of Zijian. She could only lower her head and bow deeply to Ling Xiao and the others. It's fine. Since it's a misunderstanding, then forget it. May I ask what happened in the Great Desolation Mystic Realm? Why are you so hostile towards outsiders? Long Outyen waved his hand generously. At the same time, he asked curiously. Lord Dragon God, you don't know. The Chaos Secret Territory was isolated from the rest of the world. It was originally very peaceful. However, since a month ago, some outsiders entered this place and things changed. Those outsiders entered the Chaos Secret Territory, stole the treasures of heaven and earth, killed the rare birds and beasts, and occupied the cultivation treasures. However, they burned, robbed, raped, and plundered the divine clans. There was no evil that they would not shrink from. They even snuck into the various clans, stole their treasures, and killed their core members, causing the various clans to be in danger. Right now, the Chaos Mystic Realm was in a complete mess. Just a few days ago, a few outsiders came through the Rainbow Altar and pretended to be members of the Dragon Clan. Our Purple Moon Divine clan welcomed them warmly. However, not only did they steal the Purple Moon Divine gold from the Purple Moon Divine clan, they also injured the first elder. That's why Zining is like this? Elder Z, he said with a bitter smile. Chapter 2681. After hearing Elder Zihe's explanation, Ling Xiao, Long Outyin, and the others finally understood why Zining was so hostile towards them. The Purple Moon Divine Tribe's Grand Elder was Zining Er's grandfather, and the Purple Moon Divine Medal was the supreme treasure of the Purple Moon Divine Tribe. It was a legendary medal. No wonder Zining was so angry and wanted to capture the outsiders to vent her anger. You're saying that the outsiders entered the Chaos Secret Realm a month ago? And they even entered through the five-colored altar? How is that possible? Long Outyin's eyes were filled with disbelief. After all, the Dragon God enthronement ceremony was just a month ago. At that time, the four divine tribes had just obtained the origin source secret technique. Even Gu Daoi and the other four divine tribes' ancestors had only opened the Chaos Secret Realm a few days ago. That meant that someone had already entered the Chaos Secret Realm a month ago. How was that possible? What shocked Long Outyin even more was that the five-colored altar was the Dragon Tribe's passageway. How could others have entered the Chaos Secret Realm through the five-colored altar? It seems like things have gone beyond our imagination. Ling Zhao's expression also became somewhat serious. The Chaos Secret Realm had always been under the control of the five divine tribes, and only the disciples of the five divine tribes could enter to train. Logically speaking, outsiders should not be able to enter. However, according to the Purple Moon Divine Tribe's people, the Chaos Secret Realm had already opened a month ago. Who could it be? Bai Hansong and the others should know something. Perhaps we can find out something when we contact them. Long Xiaoxiao said slowly. Esteemed guests of the Dragon Tribe, please follow me back to the Purple Moon Divine Tribe. Our Grand Elder might know something about what you're wondering. Elder Zihe said slowly. If that's the case, then I'll have to trouble you. Ling Xiao nodded and said to Zihe. He was very curious about the group of outsiders that Elder Zihe had mentioned. They had actually caused chaos in the Chaos Secret Realm, and even the Purple Moon Divine Tribe's Grand Elder had been severely injured. Ling Xiao could vaguely sense that those outsiders might not be from the demon realm. There were 5 majestic mountains around the valley where the five-colored altar was. They contained the power of life and death of the 5 elements. It was a natural array. Not far from the five-colored altar, there was a mountain that was tens of thousands of meters tall. It was called the Purple Moon Divine Mountain, and it was the territory of the Purple Moon Divine Clan. Under the guidance of the 2 elders, Zihe and Zichuan, Ling Xiao and the others arrived at the Purple Moon Divine Clan. The Purple Moon Divine Mountain was shrouded in resplendent starlight. It was ethereal and mysterious. It looked majestic. Ancient trees towered into the sky. It was like a paradise, ethereal and auspicious. There were not many people in the Purple Moon Divine Clan, only about 10,000 of them. However, the talents of the people of the Purple Moon Divine Clan were extremely powerful, which made Ling Xiao sigh in admiration. Among the 10,000 people of the Purple Moon Divine Clan, there were actually thousands of saints. The Purple Moon Divine Clan was probably comparable to an immortal sacred land in the God realm. However, the people of the Purple Moon Divine Clan were not so friendly to Ling Xiao and the others. Their eyes were filled with hatred. If it were not for the 2 elders, they would have rushed up and attacked Ling Xiao and the others. At the peak of the Purple Moon Divine Mountain was the Purple Moon Divine Palace. It was the place where the Purple Moon Divine Clan worshipped the Purple Moon Divine Goddess. It was also where the Elders Association was located. The Purple Moon Divine Clan did not have a clan leader. The Elders Association, which was formed by 9 great elders, ruled the entire Purple Moon Divine Clan. In the Purple Moon Divine Palace, Ling Xiao saw the great elder of the Purple Moon Divine Clan, Zi Fenglai. Zi Fenglai looked incomparably old. His face was full of wrinkles and his whole body exuded a kind of lethargy. He held a walking stick in his hand and reclined on the bed in the middle. His face was slightly pale. He looked like an ordinary old man. He did not even have any cultivation aura. He was extremely ordinary. However, such an old man was the strongest person in the Purple Moon Divine Clan. He was the great elder of the Purple Moon Divine Clan. Cough cough. Honored guests of the Dragon Clan, you have come. Zi Fenglie's aged and gentle voice carried traces of weakness and exhaustion. He slowly stood up and his wise and experienced gaze landed on Ling Xiao and the other four. The moment he stood up, Ling Xiao immediately felt that his figure had become incomparably tall, as if he was holding up the world. Zi Fenglie's pair of eyes seemed to be able to see through everything. Long Outyin, Long Xiaoxiao, and the others all felt as if their bodies were seen through by Zi Fenglai. It was a kind of insight that could not be hidden. Only Ling Xiao's expression was incomparably calm. His gaze was calm. I did not expect that other than the current dragon god, there would be this era's chosen one. The arrival of the two venerables really brings light to my humble dwelling of the Purple Moon Divine Clan. May I know the names of these young friends? Zi Fenglai looked at Ling Xiao with a little surprise. Great Elder, you are too polite. I am Ling Xiao. This is the current dragon god of the Dragon Clan, Long Outyin. This is the daughter of the previous dragon god, Long Xiaoxiao. These two are my good brothers, N and Wu Yang. Chapter 2682. That was a heroic young man. His skin was like jade, and he was extraordinarily handsome. He had the bearing of a king, and his temperament was something this old man had never seen before. He looked somewhat similar to little friend Ling Xiao, but not quite the same. His mount is an ancient divine beast, the three-legged golden crow. He also has two powerful guardians following him. He is extremely powerful. This is his image. Do you recognize him? Zi Fenglai said slowly. He then waved his sleeves and used his mental strength to construct an image in front of Ling Xiao and the rest. It was a slender and heroic young man in golden armor. His face was like jade, and he was extraordinarily handsome. His face was dignified and mysterious. The corners of his mouth were slightly raised, and he had a domineering and arrogant aura. This is... Ling Xiao, Old Goat, and Taoist Wu Yang were shocked. They never thought that the person who impersonated Long Outyin would be this guy. Zhao Ritian. The image that Zi Fenglai constructed was indeed Zhao Ritian. However, Ling Xiao, the Old Goat, and Taoist Wu Yang were three sly old foxes. Although they were extremely shocked, they looked at each other and revealed a dazed expression. They didn't reveal the slightest bit of abnormality. Long Outyin and Long Xiaoxiao were not familiar with Zhao Ritian. Therefore, they did not recognize him. We don't recognize this person either. Great Elder, this person looks heroic and has an extraordinary temperament. Why would he impersonate the dragon god and do something so outrageous in the Purple Moon Divine Clan? Ling Xiao asked doubtfully. He began to be cautious. Although Zhao Ritian was both his enemy and his friend, he knew that Zhao Ritian was not a bad person. He was definitely not a despicable and shameless person. Why did the Purple Moon Divine Clan call him a villain who stole the Purple Moon Divine Gold and attacked Zi Fenglai? Moreover, Zi Fenglai was obviously suspicious of Ling Xiao and the rest. After constructing Zhao Ritian's image, he had been observing their reactions. He wanted to see if they recognized Zhao Ritian. Fortunately, Long Outyin and Long Xiaoxiao were not familiar with Zhao Ritian. Ling Xiao, Old Goat, and Taoist Wu Yang were all sly old foxes. Although they were shocked, they did not show it on their faces. You don't recognize this person? We didn't expect this boy to do such a thing. He has the bloodline of the Dragon Clan and came from the 5 colored altars. This old master originally planned to marry Ning him, but I didn't expect him to be worse than a beast. Not only did he plot against Ning but after the matter was exposed, he stole the Purple Moon Divine Gold and attacked me. Zi Fenglie's eyes were filled with regret. This person deserves to die. Where is he? If Great Elder knows the whereabouts of this child, I will immediately head over and kill him, lest he tarnish the reputation of our Dragon Clan. Ling Xiao revealed a look of righteous indignation as he spoke. That's right. This guy is sanctimonious but has a human face and a beast heart. He's not a good person. Old Goat said angrily. First Elder, you're too kind. You shouldn't have let him go. Taoist Wu Yang. Looking at Ling Xiao, Old Goat and Taoist Wu Yang, Long Aoyan had a strange look in his eyes. Perhaps others did not know, but he could tell that Ling Xiao and the other two were pretending. What evil tricks were these three fellows up to this time? At this time, even if Long Aoyan was a little slow, he could sense that something was wrong. My clan is about to find the whereabouts of that person. If you can help us capture him, we are willing to give you the Purple Moon Divine Gold he stole. Zi Fenglai said with a smile. Purple Moon Divine Gold? Is that true? The old goat's eyes revealed an incomparably pleasantly surprised expression. That's right. That guy is extremely cunning. I am afraid that it will be difficult for my Purple Moon Divine clan to capture him, and I will have to rely on your esteemed guests to take action. Perhaps you will be able to capture him in one fell swoop. Everyone, please stay in my Purple Moon Divine clan for the time being, and once we have news of him, we will immediately inform you. Zi Fenglai said with sincerity. No problem. However, Great Elder, we still need to focus on the trial. I'm afraid we can't stay for long. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Little friend Ling Xiao, don't worry. We will find the whereabouts of that person in at most 3 days, or at least 1 day. The Dragon Clan and my Purple Moon Divine Clan have always been on good terms. Since you have entered the Chaos Secret Territory with great difficulty, my Purple Moon Divine Clan naturally has to be a good host. Bring these guests to stay for the time being. Zi Fenglai said with a smile. If that's the case, then I'll have to trouble you. Ling Xiao nodded. Then, under Zi Ning's lead, everyone left the Purple Moon Divine Palace. Buzz. After Ling Xiao and the others left, Zi Fenglai waved his sleeve. Suddenly, a powerful barrier rose up and enveloped the Purple Moon Divine Palace. Big brother, they have already entered the trap. They are only at the Great Saint Realm. Even if they are strong, how strong can they be? Why don't we just capture them and hand them over to His Highness? He said with a ruthless look on his face. That's right. His Highness wants the people from the 5 Great Saint clans. Now that the people from the 4 Great Saint clans have been captured by His Highness, only the people from the Dragon Clan are left. Why should we complicate things? Zichuan asked with some doubts. You don't know. If it's only the people from the Dragon Clan, then they definitely won't be able to escape from the Purple Moon Divine Palace. However, that Ling Xiao is the chosen one. He has the heavenly fate and cannot be underestimated. I feel an extremely dangerous aura from his body. If we don't capture him, I'm afraid he will ruin our plans. Zi Fenglia's body flashed with light and turned into a rosy-cheeked and dignified old man. His eyes shone with divine light and there was no sign of injury. Then why did you let them deal with that fake Long Aoyan? He asked. That fake Long Aoyan is very powerful and can be used to test the strength of this Ling Xiao. Moreover, this Ling Xiao has the heavenly fate. If I can seize his heavenly fate, I might be able to advance further. When I become the emperor, why should my Purple Moon Divine Clan lower our heads to others? Just follow my orders. Everything is under my control. Zi Fenglai said slowly, his eyes revealing a strong ambition. Emperor? Congratulations, big brother. Zi He and Zichuan's eyes were filled with incomparable surprise as they hurriedly bowed. The chosen one is the legendary ruler of an era. He has the heavenly fate. Although he only has the cultivation of the Great Saint Realm, he is still worthy of our caution and caution. Without absolute certainty, we must not attack him. Treat them well for the next 2 days. I will arrange the best burial place for him. Zi Fenglai said with a faint smile. Then, with a wave of his sleeve, his entire body emitted a bright purple light. Like a rain of light, he disappeared from the Purple Moon Divine Palace. Please remember the domain name of this book. M. Chapter 2683. Qingfeng Garden. This was a courtyard located halfway up the Purple Moon Celestial Mountain. It was surrounded by a bamboo forest and a waterfall. It was very quiet and was the place where the Purple Moon Celestial Clan entertained their guests. Ling Xiao and the other 4 were arranged to stay in Qingfeng Garden. After moving into Qingfeng Garden, Ling Xiao dismissed all the servants. He then waved his hand and set up a powerful restrictive boundary, isolating them from all possible probing. There's something wrong with the Purple Moon Celestial Clan. Taoist Wu Yang said slowly. What's wrong with the Purple Moon Celestial Clan? But I think that old man Zi Fenglai is unfathomable and very dangerous. Long Outyin asked doubtfully. Can't you see it? Zi Fenglai said that the person who impersonated you is Zhao Ritian. Although Zhao Ritian is very flashy, he's not a bad person. But in the eyes of the Purple Moon Celestial Clan, he's a heinous person. Don't you think it's strange? The old goat glared at Long Outyin and said, What? Zhao Ritian? I was wondering why I felt that guy was familiar. Isn't Zhao Ritian the son of the Heavenly Emperor? He should be in the realm of the gods now. How did he come to the Chaos Secret Territory? Long Outyan's eyes widened in disbelief. Naturally, he also recognized Zhao Ritian, but he was not very familiar with him. Some of Zhao Ritian's deeds were told to him by Ling Xiao. He did not expect that incomparably showy guy to be the legendary son of the Celestial Emperor. This identity was really frightening. We can only ask Zhao Ritian about this. The key is that this bastard came in through the Dragon Clan's 5-colored altar. According to the Purple Moon Celestial Clan, Zhao Ritian not only stole the Purple Moon Divine Gold, but also attacked Zi Fenglai. But I have a feeling that there's a conspiracy behind this. Ling Xiao said slowly. There must be a conspiracy. The Purple Moon Celestial Clan has 9 great elders and all of them are Saint Kings. Why would they need our help to capture Zhao Ritian? Maybe they saw something and wanted to test our strength. The old goat sneered. He was never afraid to judge people with the greatest malice, especially people like the Purple Moon Celestial Clan who could not distinguish between good and evil. That's right. I'm even thinking that Zi Chuan, Zi He, and Zi Jian didn't just happen to rush over to stop Zi Ning. Perhaps they were hiding somewhere and only showed themselves when they saw the ancestral dragon bloodline in Ao Tian's body. Taoist Wu Yang nodded. Cousin, it seems that the Purple Moon Divine Clan is harboring ill intentions towards us. Why don't we just kill our way out? It's too dangerous for us to stay here, and we'll be too passive. Long Outyin said eagerly. There's no hurry. Let's wait for a while. Didn't the Purple Moon Divine race say that they had already found Zhao Ritian's whereabouts? At the very least, we have to figure out what the Purple Moon Divine race is planning. However, I have already guessed that it is none other than Ao Tian's ancestral dragon bloodline and my heavenly Dao luck. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, a sharp glint in his eyes. He was also curious as to how Zhao Ritian managed to enter the Great Desolation's secret realm through the Dragon Clan's 5-colored altar. Moreover, through the Purple Moon Divine race's understanding of the situation, Ling Xiao also discovered that the Great Desolation's secret realm was now out of the control of the 5 great sacred clans and had become extremely chaotic. Ling Xiao had to find out who had entered the Great Desolation's secret realm first and caused the chaos in the Great Desolation's secret realm. It was like a pair of invisible black hands stirring up the Great Desolation's secret realm. The Purple Moon Divine race was more polite to Ling Xiao and the rest. They took out all kinds of delicacies and rare fruits to entertain Ling Xiao and the rest. Ling Xiao and the rest settled down with peace of mind. A day later, news came from the Purple Moon Divine race. Esteemed guests, we have found the whereabouts of the impostor of the Dragon God. He is in the Silver Frost Valley, thousands of miles away from here. He has been trapped by the 3 elders of our clan. Zi Ning said to Ling Xiao and the rest. Have you already found his tracks? Very good. Lady Ning, please lead us there. I would like to see who dares to impersonate me. I will definitely kill him. Long Outyin laughed arrogantly. His eyes were filled with coldness. Esteemed guests, please follow me. Zi Ning nodded, a strange look in her eyes. Soon, the Purple Moon Divine race gathered. With great elder Zi Fenglai as the leader, Zi Chuan, He, Zi Jian, Zi Ning, and hundreds of powerful warriors, they boarded a void treasure ship of the Purple Moon Divine race and flew towards the Silver Frost Valley. Ling Xiao and the rest were filled with righteous indignation. They were incomparably furious and could not wait to tear the impostor of Long Outyin into pieces. Although the Purple Moon Divine race had their suspicions, they could not see any flaws at all. Soon, they arrived at the Silver Frost Valley. The Silver Frost Valley was covered in white snow all year round. It looked like it was wrapped in silver, and the cold wind was biting cold. It was a unique scenery. 3 figures with powerful auras sat cross-legged in the void. Their auras intertwined, forming an extremely powerful sealing formation that sealed the Silver Frost Valley. In the Silver Frost Valley, there was a young man in golden armor. He looked heroic and had an extraordinary bearing. His entire body exuded an extremely powerful aura, and his eyes were cold and arrogant. It was as if the sealing formation set up by the 3 figures was not in his eyes at all. "Thief, why don't you surrender now?" When the experts of the Purple Moon Divine race arrive, it will be the time of your death. The 3 figures were the 3 elders of the Purple Moon Divine race. One of them, a purple-robed elder, had an extremely cold look in his eyes as he spoke in a cold voice. "You useless chickens and pottery dogs? What Purple Moon Divine race? You're just a bunch of despicable and hypocritical bastards. If it wasn't for that old dog Zifenglai scheming to steal my bloodline, why would I attack you?" The young man in golden armor sneered. His eyes were full of disdain. "Scheming to steal your bloodline? Who do you think you are? Our Purple Moon Divine race is a dignified divine race. Why would we care about your inferior bloodline? Since you're not willing to hand it over, then die." The purple-robed elder said coldly. Rumble. Purple lightning rose around the 3 elders. In an instant, 3 powerful palm prints covered the sky and pressed down on the young man. The young man snorted coldly. In an instant, blazing flames rose around his body and burned the 3 powerful palm prints. A terrifying murderous intent rose around him. In an instant he was about to rush into the sky and kill the 3 elders. At this moment, the Purple Moon Divine race's void treasure ship arrived at the Silver Frost Valley. Ling Xiao could tell at a glance that the young man in the Silver Frost Valley was Zhao Ritian. Ling Xiao was slightly agitated. However, he still leaped into the sky in an instant. A strong murderous aura emanated from his body as he pounced towards Zhao Ritian. He then shouted, "Thief, how dare you impersonate the dragon god of the dragon tribe? Give me your life." After hearing Ling Xiao's voice, Zhao Ritian suddenly turned his head. When he saw Ling Xiao charging towards him, he was instantly stunned. Chapter 2684. Zhao Ritian did not expect to see Ling Xiao here and in such a manner. At this moment, Zhao Ritian only had one thought in his mind: "Damn, I was discovered by this bastard when I pretended to be Long Outyin." Rumble. Blazing light rose from Ling Xiao's body. His attack contained an incomparably terrifying power as if it was going to destroy everything. His speed was extremely fast. In an instant he entered the Silver Frost Valley and arrived in front of Zhao Ritian. Zhao Ritian could even see Ling Xiao winking at him. Then, a voice was transmitted into his consciousness. "Zhao Ritian, let's pretend to fight. You can pretend to be defeated and be captured by me. Let's trick those bastards from the Purple Moon Divine clan." Zhao Ritian understood almost instantly. Then, his face revealed an extremely cold and arrogant expression. He laughed arrogantly and said, "What is the dragon tribe? How dare you behave so atrociously in front of me? Die for me." Boom. There seemed to be blazing golden flames rising from Zhao Ritian's body. His body exuded a vast heavenly might. He punched Ling Xiao. It was as if a vast chaotic void had appeared and was about to evolve into a world. The Heavenly Emperor's Fist. Zhao Ritian directly activated the Heavenly Emperor's Fist. The Heavenly Emperor's Ultimate Emperor technique contained the power of great destruction. When Zhao Ritian used it, it had the power to destroy the world. This bastard is really going to fight? Ling Xiao was also shocked. He did not expect Zhao Ritian to use the Heavenly Emperor's Fist directly. If he did not trust Zhao Ritian, he would have thought that Zhao Ritian was going to kill him. What made Ling Xiao speechless was that Zhao Ritian, the bastard, was indeed the son of the heavenly emperor. His current cultivation had also reached the great sage great perfection realm. He was only half a step away from Holy King realm, which was similar to Ling Xiao's cultivation. Zhao Ritian had the complete heavenly emperor's scripture inheritance. He was also the son of the heavenly emperor. At this moment, when he activated the heavenly emperor's fist, Ling Xiao felt like he was facing the 9 emperor's shadows during the heavenly tribulation. "Thief, today, I will slaughter you for the dragon clan," Ling Xiao said righteously. Purple clouds rose around him as he punched out like a dragon. In an instant, the purple clouds covered a distance of 30,000 miles. It was as if a purple divine dragon was roaring out, clashing with Zhao Ritian's heavenly sovereign fist. Crack! The void trembled as the 2 gigantic fists collided in the void. In an instant, boundless divine light exploded, causing the void to tremble violently. Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian were both sent flying back at the same time. "Kill! Kill!" Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian roared at the same time. Their eyes were filled with intense killing intent as they engaged in another battle. That terrifying fluctuation caused everyone from the Purple Moon Divine clan to involuntarily turn grave. Great Elder, Ling Xiao and this scoundrel's battle prowess has most likely already reached the level of a peak Holy King. Their talents are indeed peerless. He sighed softly, a divine light shining in his eyes. As expected of the heaven's chosen son, possessing the fortune of the heavenly Tao. This Ling Xiao's strength cannot be underestimated. But who exactly is that thief? How could he have such powerful battle prowess? Zichuan was also a little surprised. All of them had ulterior motives. Initially, they were still thinking about how to let Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian fight so that they could test the true strength of this chosen one. However, they did not expect that the 2 of them would immediately start fighting as soon as they met. If I'm not wrong, that thief should be the son of a great emperor. He has the bloodline of a great emperor. What a pity! If I could refine his bloodline, I might have been able to take that final step. Fenglia's eyes were burning with a trace of pity. Previously, when Zhao Ritian disguised himself as Long Outyin and entered the Purple Moon Divine clan, Fenglai quickly saw that Zhao Ritian did not have the bloodline of the Dragon clan. However, the bloodline in his body was extremely terrifying. It was suspected to be the bloodline of a great emperor. Hence, he was greedy and wanted to seize Zhao Ritian's bloodline. However, he did not expect that Zhao Ritian, who looked arrogant on the surface, was extremely cunning. Not only did he see through Fenglia's sinister intentions, he even stole the Purple Moon Divine gold of the Purple Moon Divine clan and escaped from the Purple Moon Divine clan. Now that he saw the battle between Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian, Fenglai was even more certain that Zhao Ritian must have the bloodline of a great emperor. Great Elder, if you refine the bloodline of a great emperor and devour Ling Xiao's fortune of the heavenly Tao, you will definitely be able to break through to the imperial emperor realm. At that time, our Purple Moon Divine clan might also be able to rule the heavens and achieve hegemony. Zichuan and he said with incomparable excitement. Both of them are heavenly geniuses. It's inevitable that they have some powerful trump cards. Hence, it's better to let them fight first and test their strength. It's best if we can wait until both of them are injured before we take action. Hence, you must not reveal any flaws and let them see anything. Fenglai warned Zichuan and he through voice transmission. Don't worry, Great Elder. With us here, the 2 of them can forget about escaping. Zichuan said with a cold smile. There were 6 great elders of the Purple Moon Divine clan here. In addition, Ning and Jian were also Saint Kinghood realm cultivators. There were also hundreds of powerful warriors of the Purple Moon Divine clan around them. No matter how strong Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian were, they could forget about escaping. Zichuan and he even felt that Fenglai was being too cautious. In their opinion, with so many people taking action to capture Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian, the 2 of them would definitely not be able to escape. Rumble. The battle between Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian became more and more intense. Both of them were even beginning to be injured. However, Zhao Ritian seemed to be at a disadvantage. He kept coughing up blood and his face became extremely pale. In order to make this battle seem more realistic, Ling Xiao and Zhao Ritian did not use their most powerful emperor techniques. They were almost giving it their all. Ling Xiao's body was full of burns from the true sunfire. On the other hand, Zhao Ritian's chest had caved in and his ribs were broken. His aura had become weak. Ling Xiao, kill this thief who dares to impersonate me. Long Outyin roared. Ling Xiao, the dragon clan is not to be humiliated. This kid must die. The old goat said coldly. Ling Xiao, the Purple Moon Divine clan is the ally of the dragon clan. This kid dared to sneak attack the great elder. He is the enemy of the dragon clan. Taoist Wu Yang sneered. Ling Xiao, you are the invincible chosen one. This bastard is not even worthy to carry your shoes. Kill him. Long Xiao shouted. The four of them were filled with righteous indignation. Each of them looked extremely genuine as they cheered for Ling Xiao. Even though Zhao Ritian knew that the old goat and the others were trying to distract the Purple Moon Divine clan, he still felt extremely depressed. Bastard, do you really think that I can't defeat Ling Xiao? If it wasn't for the Purple Moon Divine clan, I would have beaten Ling Xiao into a pig's head. Zhao Ritian held his breath in his heart. However, on the surface, he looked extremely miserable. There was even a hint of fear and hesitation in his eyes. Ling Xiao could not help but praise Zhao Ritian's acting skills from the bottom of his heart. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.